Hello. Okay. All righty. Let's see. Let me get some screens here. This would be a good one to share. Okay, welcome back. Whoever just came in, we are going to do this day 7, part 2. So far, we've seen some interesting things, don't you think? Yeah. Interesting. So, the court should be back in about 15 minutes or so. And if you're just popping in and out, waiting for it to come back, hey, that's great because I'm here. So welcome back to Hot Coffee's coverage for day 7. And today we saw some interesting videos. Yeah, we did, didn't we, gang? So if you just popped in, say hello. We're here. It'd be interesting what is going to be upon us, this other witness. Any thoughts from my two people? Hi, Moon Fox. Yay! Thank you for coming back. Yeah, I'm just kind of out there. I already know I'm out there. I'm just kind of a weird sense of the way. I know I'm crazy out there. Nobody has to tell me that. Oh, well. If you like my stream, is because I'm just who I am. Okay. It looks like John will be joining us. 45 minutes, and he said he'll be with us. So, yay! I love when John comes in and gives us our little 2 cents. Yes, I do. I love his intake on this whole thing. It wouldn't be the same without him, to be honest. Well, wouldn't it be the same without all of you? Yeah. So, yeah, awesome possum. Yeah, corny of me to say that. So, yes, we will have John coming in this afternoon. Hello, Lorianne. And John will be joining us. And, well, you know what? We're going to have to tell him what we saw today, aren't we, gang? Yeah. Who wants to tell him? Oh, we saw bloody things in the trash can. Yeah. We got an ear for him. He'll come in and he'll hear it from us, because we always want to update our favorite attorney. Yeah, well, he's my favorite. I'm biased. I'm a good friend. And so all of you, we're all good friends. We're family. We are trial family. I got all my law nerds with me. Hello, who came in. Oh, I just love it when I see my friends pop in and say hi. It warms my heart. Oh, you guys, click that button. Only takes 2 seconds. Because you know why? It warms my heart. And it lets me know that whatever I'm doing it right. If I'm doing it wrong, oh well. There's always room for improvement. Yes, very indeed. Yes, those. Yeah, were they paper towels? Ew. Well, thank you, Lorianne. I appreciate you saying that. All of you are awesome. Paper towels. Gosh. I wanted those cups so that they knew who the person was that picked up the bag. This was yeah. She believes they were. I really want to. I want to blow that up. I don't know why I'm so intrigued by that. Maybe it's because it's the first thing that we see that was truly evidence. Yeah, that's it. That's an interesting question, Moon Fox. I'm wondering the same thing. Also, after you said that in chat, I wonder if he's going to be one of the witnesses. Ooh, oh. The plot does thicken. The plot does thicken. That's right. You know, the thing about it with the paper towels, I totally agree with that. Because I remember early in this trial, I said, "Oh, you guys pay attention to paper towels." And John was like, "Why?" Because when she filled it the other day, the day before, there are 12 paper towels. And you know, I know that kind of sounds silly that we're talking about paper towels, for God's sakes. I mean, really, come on, right? And now we know, after seeing that, paper towels. See, this is what I love when you guys come in and you guys throw these things at me, because it really does add a lot to our content of our channel. It's like you guys make this channel. You guys help me get up in the morning and go, yeah, it's another day in court. So, yeah, 12 paper towels, and the next day she comes over, there's only 2 left. Okay, I understand kids have accidents. A Kool-Aid mess or... But 12? 10? Yeah. Sometimes kids get paper towel happy. I've seen that when I was a nanny. But 12 paper towels, 2 were missing. 2 were missing. Can't make that up. Where were they? So, yeah, we're waiting for court to happen. And, you know, we all know they're never, ever on time. We are. Okay, wait a minute. Never mind. We got 10 minutes for court. But we do. We know they're never on time. Oh, boy. Yeah, you don't you think? They had a shaggy dog or something. I would like. Okay, you guys, I really gotta. I'm gonna do something while we're waiting for court to come back on. If somebody can keep an eye out, because I really want to see this video again.
You saw in one of the videos a garbage truck pick up trash along Albany Avenue, and that at least some of those receptacles, right?
One of them.
Okay, here it is.
And that was on May, you said 28th,
Correct.
according to the time, right?
According to the time.
Did you actually download that video as well?
Yes.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Just one, sir, with respect to the garbage truck that you saw, did you see that garbage truck stop at what location and pick up trash?
That was Albany and Garden.
Okay, but you didn't see it pick up trash at the other locations?
I did.
Thank you.
Did you watch the?
Okay, here, I pulled it back just a little bit. We're going to watch, yeah, I do too agree with Moon Fox. Okay, I think, okay, here it is.
650.
I hope you guys don't mind, but this is weird. I really, Okay. Okay, he goes deeper. God, he gets really deep. And then he is, I'm proving Lori Ann, I think she's the one who said that. Point, it was paper towels. So he's going deeply in there. Okay. Is that it? Oh my gosh. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Sir, just without asking you anything,
Okay.
without saying anything anybody.
Paper towels. Yep. Because the way he put it, like, it looked like this. Kind of proves the point that paper towels were part of the whole. I'm sorry. This is, I mean, I'm not sorry. Why I'm sorry. This is more like it. It is. This we're seeing it a lot. So if you those who just joined in, we are still waiting for court to start in 6 minutes, maybe not 6 minutes, but anyway, he totally took something. Yeah, he did. Right out of the bag. Yep. Yes, absolutely. Were you the one who said paper towels? I can't believe we're making a big deal about paper towels. Well, it is a big deal when you do a crime scene like this. Okay, those were totally paper towels. Yes. Lorianne. Totally. Yeah. Nobody said anything about the kids going through them. Nobody said that it was excessive. You know, kids do get messy. Don't. Hey, I'm all for that, but 2 out of 12 were left. Yep. My. It is becoming, it's because it proves he was getting rid of evidence. And now I think that we are now seeing Michelle involved in this whole crime. Because I believe that John does an excellent job at describing how that works. Yeah. You know, just because her DNA wasn't all over the house and I don't know. You know, here's another thing, you guys. When he took that paper towel out, did it go into forensics? Yeah. And the blood, do they test that blood? Oh gosh, I got questions. Oh boy, my head is just like spinning around and around and around. Questions and questions and questions and questions and questions. So yes, this is where she was spotted for the very first time during the whole entire trial. So this is really kind of like we're getting, I'm sorry, I'm having some crazy hair issues. Okay. Yeah. So we're spotting her at the scene of the crime. and it's all coming to play with me. So actually, we're getting somewhere to the plot. All right. Thank you very much for joining in, and we are waiting for the court to come back, and we will hopefully see John in maybe half hour, 45 minutes or so. And, it'd be great to have his input with the whole thing, the entire thing that we saw, and we'd like to see what he has to say. Welcome back, Mommy. Are you feeling better, Mommy? We hope so. We hope that nasty headache went away. I did catch something about it, if I had any properties in the name. Mommy, did you cue me? Actually, did you see the video of the bloody towel that we're looking at? We're all stuck on this towel. Did you? Well, I am. I don't know about you guys. I'm not speaking for my chat, but did you see anything? Did you see the video about it? One, if you want to see it again. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this. Okay, yeah. So some of it you saw. Okay, all right. Let me go dig for it. Guys, talk among yourselves because I got to find this. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Footage of this vehicle's travels on Albany Ave. That's
Okay, here's something I want
So they didn't
to
make you
have
sit
everybody
there and
see
watch
too.
like 24 or 48 hours of video.
Oh, never mind.
So,
Scratch that. Okay.
Now, in your review of that video, sir, that was Albany and Green? Or I'm sorry, Albany and Garden?
Albany and Garden.
Okay, he's coming.
Did you watch it to see, or were you aware of any video of anybody else rifling through that garbage can?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to asking this witness to
Oh.
characterize what was being seen.
Why aren't we
Very soft
surprised you're
and so
objecting?
forth.
Well,
For those who just came in, we're going to watch something
the
that's
question
interesting.
is, did you observe anyone else rifling through the trash?
Rifling
I
through the
apologize,
trash.
Your Honor, I will rephrase.
Love his commands on the
Sir,
English
did you see
language.
anybody else go through that garbage can?
I could
Yes.
listen to that man for
Or what
hours,
time,
to be honest.
or when?
It was on the 26th of May, sometime around 6 a.m. If
We're
I
going to get to
could
it here in a
reference my
minute.
report, I could give you a more accurate time.
Court's not in yet. Are they back? Got a lot of windows open here. The window. Husband always gets on me for having too many windows open. Yeah, that would be easy to find. Let's see.
Yes.
It should be coming up real soon. Maybe if I could just fast forward it a little bit.
39 for ID. Again, please draw your attention to page 2.
I want when he walks.
Okay, it does.
And what was the time?
6:51 a.m.
Okay.
6:50,
All right.
25.
Here it is. All right. for those who have not seen this, this is a person that was walking by the trash can. Why did he get the stuff out of there? There's a lot of questions about this. I have a ton of questions. I do.
Sir, just without asking you anything, without saying anything that you
Okay.
said or anything like that, just yes or
We
no,
don't
sir.
know. That's the, yeah. We don't know if he was a random person just walking along, mind his own business, or is he a, okay. For those of you who ever experience living in a big city like I have in New York. Yeah, I lived in New York City for 3 years. And homeless people love to go in there and look at trash. Not even just homeless people. I did in college too. Imagine that. Yeah, people love trash. People love trash. I can't just say homeless people because that's just being stereotyping. And they, yeah. So who was this person? Yeah, is it some rando? We don't know. It could be anybody. Go figure, right? Look for recyclables. Yeah. And I also one day when I was in Penn Station, I was on my way to work and I belt for my dress. This is back in the day when I was a size 6. But anyway, and oh my gosh, and I threw the belt in the trash can and this homeless guy goes, "Are you kidding? Why did you throw this away?" I'm like, "Dude," I didn't tell him this because I don't talk to people that are, it's, you got to be careful who you talk to in New York. And I just kept walking. I'm thinking, does he get it? It doesn't work. It's broken. No use for me. Right? I don't know. Some people don't go in there just for recyclables, mommy. Just saying. I saw a little movement on the camera. I don't know what that means. It is. It's quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, it is just finally seeing some kind of action, to say the least. All right, I'm sorry about the dead silence. So what else can we talk about besides that? There was also some footage of him driving with, allegedly, I can't really say it was her. I should say allegedly him too at this moment to be. Let me see. While we're talking, you guys talk to amongst yourselves. Let me see if I can find something here that's another interesting. Well, I don't know if I can find it. Well, anyway, you could just tell she was in the car. What bothers me is there's no evidence that he had properties in that neighborhood. Oh, yep. But they could say without a doubt about the property he drove to. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. While we're at lunch, I had a thought. Oh gosh, it's dangerous when I had thoughts. But anyway, Michelle was living with Fotis, right? Is everybody on the same page? Yeah, find the car. Okay. So if she was living with him during the murder, I mean, I think I found it. She had to known. Even during these videos. Okay, I think I got the car. Yeah, she was. Okay, thank you for verifying that information
Sure.
for me.
Is this the video recording that you watched on May 30th, 2019?
Okay, here it is. I
Yeah.
think this is it. For those who just joined us and didn't see this yet, you'll find this interesting. Oh, we did. Okay, now really watch this video, okay? And you can see some movement in the car with another person in there at the door or at the passenger seat. So he opens the door. I wish I could see my cursor. Then he closes it. Come on.
Sir, did you take any action with respect to anything really after watching this video?
Okay.
Again, I notified my supervisor about the location of this particular instance. It looked like a sewer. And
Well,
Okay, here it is. Here it is, right, kids?
let me ask you that.
Kids.
actually.
Oh my
If you
gosh.
can, Go back
Dang.
briefly.
Okay.
Did you notify your supervisor with respect to the garbage can?
yes,
Okay.
I
And
want to
again,
see
were you
when
on
she
still at C4
actually
when you made that?
got out.
I was.
Okay, here it is. I think, okay, see
And
it?
you also
There we
mentioned
go.
the sewer grate.
Right there.
Where
there.
is that located on the screen?
Yeah, she picks it up right on the curve.
Kind of right up by the passenger door of the truck.
If you wouldn't mind, sir, if you could go up and point. And for the record, pointing to the middle right side. Thank you, sir. And you also mentioned, I believe, Albany and Green, was that correct?
Yes.
Then ma'am, I'm gonna go to Albany and Center camera. $741, please. Did you observe this while you were on C4 property?
I did.
And did you inform anybody after what you saw on this?
Yeah, again, I notified my supervisor.
Did you actually go to Albany Avenue, sir?
No.
Do you guys want to continue watching this? Let me know. One, if you do.
Do you recall what time of day this was that you watched these
Two.
videos?
Get enough.
Believe it was around 3 p.m.
And
I'm just trying to
after
create some
watching these
content.
videos and informing your sergeant, did you review other video from C4?
I did.
What video did you review?
Continue?
There's,
Okay.
More video.
You're watching this.
Corner Albany and Garden.
And I'll keep an eye on
and
court.
It was played up till I think the 26th of May.
Why did you look for Albany and Garden video?
That was a garbage can that we saw trash placed in, and we were just interested to see if it had been picked up already by the garbage service in the city.
Just to be clear, the video you watched of the trash being placed in trash was placed in on what day?
The 24th.
Okay, and you watched it on which date?
Yes, it is, Mom. There's a
30th.
direct link to her.
Did you watch, when you watched the video from the 24th, how far did you get, or how long did you watch the video for?
I'll
determine
be
that
right
the trash
back.
had
Can
been
somebody
picked up in the
keep an eye on
garbage
court?
It
Whatever.
was
We'll
determined
stop with this.
that particular
Here.
garbage can was picked up on the 28th.
Okay. How do you know that?
I gotta get some more coffee.
We could see the garbage truck picking up the garbage can. So
So did you watch the video for that
Yeah.
time?
yes,
Okay, and do you know what time the trash can came and picked up that video?
I'd have to reference my report for the exact time on the 28th.
Do you have any idea, or would you refresh your recollection, take a look at your report?
It would refresh my recollection.
Okay.
I could look at that.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor. If I may just approach the clerk.
Yes.
Sir, I'm going to show you what's been marked as states 38 for ID. I'm going to draw your attention to the second page, last paragraph. Please don't read it out loud. Just a minute.
Okay, look, about 4:10 p.m. is when it got picked up.
It was PM or AM? Or does it not say?
It doesn't say.
So
So it does say hours. So maybe 4:10 a.m.
okay, if I can have that back. Are you sure for 10 AM? or
Yeah, yeah.
Could I have that marked for ID, please?
It is.
Oh, thank you. What's the number?
It is 38. Now, in your review of that video, sir, that was Albany and Green? Or, I'm sorry, Albany and Garden?
Albany Garden.
Yes. Did you watch it to see, or were you aware of any video of anybody else rifling through that garbage can?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to asking this witness to characterize what was being seen in the videos. The jury saw it, they can speak for themselves.
Well, the question is, did you observe anyone else rifling through the trash?
I apologize, Your Honor. I will rephrase. Sir, did you see anybody else go through that garbage can?
Yes.
Okay, at what time or when, I should say?
It was on the 26th of May, sometime around 6 a.m. If I could reference my report, I could give you a more accurate time.
Okay, back. Still no court. I'll just play this until it's kind of a good it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what's coming, to be honest. Okay, let's see here. My notes. All right. Are you guys okay just listening to this some more? For those of you who are joining us, we're doing a rerun of what happened.
Yes.
These are starting the videos of showing that Michelle is somehow linked to the crime. So right now we're doing this, we're hanging out, we're just watching this testimony of, he's a resident trooper. His name is
Okay, it
Brett
does.
Altmore, and he is
6:51
discussing the
a.m.
videos. Okay, so we're good.
I'm going to draw your attention to states 37. Please take a look. Play, please, Albany and Garden. $650.25.
One thing about it, this court sure likes to be late, huh? All right, so okay, here it is again. Here it is again. Now, if this doesn't tell me a little bit about the story, God, there's blood on there. That he's definitely getting rid of evidence.
Without asking you anything, without saying anything anybody said or anything like that, just yes or no, sir, were you able to find the identity of who that person was?
We were.
That's all I have at this time. Thank you.
Okay, so this is where we're going to go breaking for
I
lunch.
just would like to just look at the reports for a minute. Do you have one there in front of you? or not?
No, I don't.
Sir, I just have like a couple of questions. So you had the snippets from the C4 video downloaded onto some kind of drive for you, correct?
Correct.
Was that on a flash drive, a DVD? What was it given to you on?
I believe it was a flash drive.
Did you pick what you wanted to have downloaded?
They had already assembled footage of this vehicle's travels on Albany Ave. That's what I took.
Oh, so they didn't make you sit there and watch like 24 or 48 hours of video yourself?
Well, no, we were watching the truck, yeah.
And then, when you say they, who's they was watching?
Oh, the analysts at C4 that were assisting.
Right, so we didn't look to see if anyone else came by or anyone else went through or dropped anything off besides that, correct?
Correct.
If you're just coming over,
And I just want to be clear about the garbage.
give me a little bit of a
truck you mentioned.
rerun.
You saw in one of the videos a garbage truck pick up trash along Albany Avenue and that, at least some of those receptacles, right?
One of them, yeah.
And that was on May, you said 28th,
Correct.
according to the time, right?
According to the time.
Did you actually download that video as well?
Yes.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Just one, sir, with respect to the garbage truck that you saw, did you see that garbage truck stop at what location and pick up trash?
That was Albany and Garden.
Okay, but you didn't see it pick up trash at the other locations?
I didn't.
Thank you.
Did you watch the multiple days from the 24th to 28th to see if any others got picked up?
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nothing further.
Mr. Atmore, you may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, with respect to our next witness, I believe he was told to come for 1. We're ending in the morning a little early.
I bet you didn't think they're waiting for this witness, would be my guess.
So you expect him for 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I bet you were waiting for this witness.
Ladies
And we're
gentlemen,
like
it's the
23 minutes late. And what are they going to take forever on
disappointed
this
in you,
trial?
so, we'll take our lunch and recess until 2 o'clock. And
Okay, so here we are, Judge. We're here at 2:21 your time, and you're not here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Yeah. Okay, so we saw that video, and I think we're good to go. Of course, we're going to show it to John, sometime. But we're just going to have to sit tight. So anybody else have any good thoughts? I got 5 of you in here. Somebody say something. Oh gosh, a hostess this channel is begging her chat to chat. Oh, I swear, I hope I don't look needy. I don't know. It's just this sticks to my mind right now. I'm with you on Mommy on that one. That is, yeah, my dog just tore off the leg of my lamb chop. Oh my gosh. Oh, what? Oh no. Love lamb chops. I like lamb. Oh. And I'm just sitting here staring at the Connecticut state seal. Oh, it's their chew toy. Oh God, I thought it was one of your lamb chops, like on a, yeah, they're sneaky like that. I had a poodle used to jump on the table, nobody's looking. It's like, oh my God, those, they're smart. Those poodles are smart. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you guys, it's 1:26. Who has who has a prediction when they're going to start coming? Is this a countdown for the trial to start? Oh. You know how hard it is to keep up content for, lamb stew. Love. That would be good to eat. Oh gosh, I don't know why. I just all of a sudden got a yawn attack. I'm not sleepy or anything. Welcome back to the second part of the trial. We just got back from lunch. No, we didn't just get back from lunch. We're sitting here. We're waiting for the trial to start, and it's 1:27. On the behalf of the court, I apologize. It's hard to keep things alive when we're waiting. And while we're waiting, we were looking at 2 videos, and one video put Michelle Troconis right into the truck that Fotis was driving around the area, I believe, of Hartford. And also we saw a video of we don't know, somebody walking by, decided to look in the trash. I don't know. And then he was digging through it, really deeply digging through it, and found a bloody towel. We're thinking it was one of those paper towels. Yeah, he really does like to take his time. You know, I like this judge very well, but I think the judge just needs to snap it a little bit, a little quicker. I wish he was a little quicker. Just saying. I love him. I could listen to him really lecture on some law because I understand it with him. But gosh, he just takes his time. You know, this disrespectful. So yeah, I can see why this trial is going to last a long time. So yeah, I hope I hope I'm entertaining some of you. It's really kind of difficult to cover a trial when the judge is always late, because there's just so much you could talk about while waiting for them, because you don't want to go over and over on things. Sometimes gets a little redundant. And then people like me trying to keep an audience engaged, it's a challenge. I like this. I do believe that she and the monster did kill her, but they don't have the evidence to convict her. Not yet. I think the evidence, I don't know, Mommy. I think more to be revealed. I think this really does link her to the crime. This is a direct link to her. It has to be something, because if the state did arrest her for allegedly being involved in the crime conspiracy of it, but I don't know. Like I said, we were just now starting these videos and the testimonies. There's a lot there for me to say I can link her to it. Not a lot, no, excuse me, but there is. For instance, the testimony with the nanny kind of made me think about her involvement with him, and they were together all the time while he was married to Jennifer. Kids already knew her. Gosh, they even call her Mishy. Yeah, but we have to go back to the DNA and how we didn't see DNA, particularly in the crime scenes itself. But to me, just because you don't see DNA doesn't mean she didn't kill her. I mean, doesn't mean she didn't know about the killing. That's what I mean. Didn't know about the killing. I could be wrong. So here we are. We have her living with him. No, it doesn't mean she cleaned up well. That doesn't mean it was cleaned up well. No, it actually doesn't. The thing about it is, Mommy, is that when people do clean up crime scenes. I'm learning from all the trials that I have watched so far. They think they're doing a good job, but there's always going to be something missing. That there's always going to be some slip up, because you can't get away with crime that easy. And that's one thing I like about our society today. They can't get away with it very easily. Something good about our society, right? That's one of them. I'm going to be optimistic today, so I'm going to say, yeah, you know. And also, yeah, I think she was accessory. I think she was involved in it. And I think that video that we just saw this morning just speaks volumes to me. I don't know about anybody else, but that's just my take on it. Yeah. That's why I kind of watched it a couple of times over and over. And I like to know who that person was that was just walking by the trash can. Dun, 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 dun. Let me just walk around. Oh, here's a trash can. Let me just go through the trash can. Ooh. Ew, what's this? Why would that guy take a bloody paper towel out of a trash can? Why? It was just some random guy, and he's looking for recyclables, and then he takes a bloody paper towel. People are weird. People are strange. But why would you do that? You know, I know people are weird. I know people are strange. But why would somebody take a bloody towel out of a trash can? I'd be freaked out. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay, good. We got something going on here. Did you hear human beings in that video? I heard good afternoon, Your Honor. People coming in. Mama, you watching something else too? Besides, let me see if I can get another screen up just to look at it in a different. See, I don't know what I can and cannot do with YouTube because I don't want to get YouTube jail in the middle of my trial covering. That would be awful. That would be seriously awful. It looks like Fox 61 is okay, I'm on your phone and TV. Okay. Yeah, that would be really horrid. I know. I wish I can find another better. I don't know if Fox would let me do this without getting into trouble. You probably have a better volume. I don't want to find out the hard way and then can't come back on. Then we'd have to rely on John. Help us. Yeah, that would be sad. because John has a life other than this. But we're so thankful to have him. Yeah, I keep saying because I'm running out of things to say. So, who thinks that the defense attorney is going to come up and say, emotion? Do you think he'll come up with a new emotion? Thank you, Mommy. I'm new at this. Mommy, I never did this. I never done something like this in my entire life. People have told me in the past I should have my own talk show. So I thought, okay, people are telling me that in my past, and hey, let's see what happens. Because people say you never run out of things to say. Yeah. What's higher than 10 but lower than 1? Temperature? We're at 25. We're having a heat wave today. Ugh. Oh, okay. The odds of him, okay, complaining about something like he always usually does. Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll come back with some kind of emotion. What is that? Emotional innate, whatever they call it. Yeah. He'll come back. He'll come back and want something. That poor judge. No wonder it's taken forever. Oh, yeah. The jury's being stupid again. Let's just hope you're wrong. I think it's that attorney. I'm blaming it on him. Because this guy really obviously does not want any evidence coming in. I mean, he's fighting it hard. Well, he's doing his job. That's the thing. I mean, he's doing his job and he's paid to do. He's probably saying, "Oh, I'll try to get this thrown out in court, you guys." Yeah, every day. Every day. Every day seems like it's something, doesn't it, with him? Yeah, sending the jury. Good gosh. What is it? It's almost 3 o'clock there. And then they're going to go again for like another hour. And they're going to say, okay, we're done for the day. Oh, you know what? He's arguing about something. Did you hear that? This is an outrage. And yes. Oh, it's almost an hour. This court is making me mad. Tell him, Nancy, tell him. Oh, they care? They should. No, I'm seriously. I mean, they should be. Ugh, they should care. I mean,
That
something's happening. I don't know. Am I behind?
Clerk, as a witness.
Yeah, it's wasting the jury's time. All right, I gotta get my earphones back on because of the stupid audio.
Michael Buten Jr., name B-E-A-U-T-O-N. I'm a sergeant with the Connecticut State Police.
Sergeant Buten, you may be seated.
Thank you.
Sergeant Buten, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sergeant, how long have you been employed with the state police?
Approximately 16 years.
Oh,
What were some of
good.
your initial assignments with the state police?
Hello.
I
I promised you I'd make it eventually.
Well, you came just on time, my pal.
For approximately 7 months.
They just got back from lunch.
You know, we were trained in criminal investigation, accident investigation, firearms, emergency vehicle operations, etc.
All right, so while he's doing this, do you want me to switch over to my feed, which I think is a little smoother?
Yes.
All right, give me 2 seconds.
All right, he's gonna go switch over to his feed.
Not my channel, just
Not his channel, just his end.
yeah,
I'd rather
just
you
like
do.
it on my end.
That way you could pause and talk about stuff that
Task
you want
operator,
to talk about.
on the West TAC team. 2018 is when I was transferred to Western District Major Crime as a detective.
Because my feed
I was
sucks.
stationed at the Troop G
It's
office in
okay.
Bridgeport.
Well, I know, but still,
Prior to
it'd
becoming
be
a
good
state
for the
police officer,
audience to be
did you
able to
serve
hear.
in
Me-
the branch of the United
Shut.
States military?
I did.
Which
We're
branch?
just glad you're here,
United
John.
States Marine Corps.
And did you serve in any wars?
I did.
Which war?
I spent a little bit of time in Afghanistan, and I was deployed.
He's doing his
combat tour to
resume anyway.
What years were you?
Okay, let me get rid of my crap and put yours on.
2006.
That's what I sort of
Okay.
figured.
Attention now to May of 2019. What unit of the state?
2001 to 2006.
Directing your attention now to May of 2019. What unit of the state police were you?
All right, is that a
May
little
of
bit
2019,
cleaner?
I was a detective assigned to the Western
Yeah,
District
what do you do? You have such magic.
Have you since ascended? To
I
become a
have a
sergeant?
good internet connection.
What year did that take place?
I was promoted to sergeant in
Helps.
April of 2022.
Pay extra for
Okay.
that.
Western District Major Crime?
No, I'm not.
All right, John,
Assigned?
Presently assigned.
You're
as
on the
a
hot
sergeant
seat.
with, Central District Major Crime Squad. I supervise the.
Well, while he's
CI office in Hartford.
doing
Just for
his,
the jury's benefit, when you say CI office.
it's
what
very
does CI
low.
stand for?
Criminal investigation.
well, we did see some videos
I
today,
wanna direct your attention now to May 28th,
regarding,
2019, a Tuesday.
we saw Michelle
In the Jennifer Dulos
and with the
investigation.
truck
Yes, I
with
did.
How
Fotis.
did you learn about this case?
And
From a phone call from my supervisor.
also we saw a
When did you
video
report on May 28th,
of
2019?
somebody
Thank
walking
you,
by.
Naomi. I am feeling better. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
Why
he's
did you report
here.
to
We're
New Canaan
glad.
Police Department?
And we're
So we
trying
were
to fill
assisting
you in.
New Canaan Police
We
with
saw
missing
a
persons
bystander walking
and
across this
since they were the
garbage
primary
can, decided to
force
go
case, we worked at the
dumpster
police
diving,
department.
and he picked things out, and then lo and behold, we're
Person
thinking it
was
was
missing,
a
resided in
bloody
New Canaan, so,
paper towel,
command staff at the
and then
time
takes it and then
felt
walks
that
off.
That was the best place to work from, so that's why we were there.
Approximately how many troopers?
And that proves precisely what?
When you arrived on May 28th?
Quite a few.
John, paper towels
given any
are part of the
specific tasks on
crime
that day?
scene.
Yes, I was.
What types of tasks were you given?
Okay, and
So.
Oh, you're waiting for ends.
myself and
And I'm thinking that it's from the crime scene.
To the 3-bay garage.
And what makes you think that, right?
Jessica to take photographs of the shelving units that were in the,
by
I
implication,
guess you'd call it the 3rd garage bay. So if you're facing the bays, there are 3.
I just love the way you
Far right
challenge
bay.
me.
So I took photographs of the shelves.
You do.
I love the way that you challenge me back.
I know, but you challenge me. It proves that she was with him.
The family of for the children.
Does
in New York
it?
City, and we wanted to show her those pictures.
Okay,
to
Mom, he's going
see
to
if
ask
she
us,
could,
how does that prove
identify
she
any
was with
items
them?
that maybe had a place.
Well,
that she didn't recognize.
she
That was the
maybe
purpose
she
of
wasn't
those
with him with the
photographs.
If I
crime,
were to show you those photos,
but
would you
she
recognize
was
them?
there.
Yes,
We
I
have to
would.
show you this video, by the way.
and
Not
by the
now.
way, I have to make a correction on DNA. It can technically, under the right conditions, sit around for almost half a year.
Really?
Under the right conditions. Now, those right conditions are relatively rare, but it's possible. I would suggest possible to the point where reasonable doubt is implicated.
Can somebody actually be there with no DNA around?
Nowadays, very, very rare. And by that, I mean stupidly rare.
Okay, so there's no way that Michelle was actually there.
Sorry,
Oh,
do
good.
you recognize this
Let me put
photograph?
it this
Yes, I
way.
do.
What is that photograph of?
If I wore a
That is a photograph
balaclava
of,
with a
apartment
duster
building
and gloves,
in the red garage bay located.
I
at
mean, if the
16
idea is that
New Canaan.
nobody
Is that
can
one
be
of the
anywhere
photographs
without
that you took in
DNA
69 or
contamination,
Yes, it is.
then the entire concept of
I'm just gonna ask
CSI
you
kind of breaks
number
down.
4 now.
Oh,
Because otherwise, by the very definition of testing it,
You just indicate to the
you
jury
end up in
that
this sort of
So this
paradox,
photograph is
where
also
by the very
Really?
fact of you
that
testing
were
it,
in the garage.
you're
She-
contaminating it.
It's a little
you know who
over
she
from the
is?
photograph, and
We have no-
there's
yeah,
some sporting
excellent
goods,
point.
Tupperware,
Well, yeah.
some other items.
All of this goes to reasonable doubt in my mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, but for one thing,
Did you ultimately go to New York City?
Yes,
What day?
the same day.
I'm just
Who, if
thinking,
anyone, went to New York City with you?
Detective Ryan.
Is it a
Frechette.
crime to
What borough of New York City?
go
did
with
you
your
to?
significant other to go toss out trash?
no, but
So we were
Would
in
you
Manhattan
question
on Park Avenue.
why would he
for one
have
of the
30
stops. I don't recall the other borough.
oh my gosh, you really do make me
Specifically with
think.
respect to Miss Almeida.
It was.
But if they have
Um,
30 bags of trash, if I really
we did.
decided to clean my apartment, I'd probably have close to that.
I don't remember for how long.
Yeah,
I have to look
30
at my report to
trash
see.
cans.
I know there's a recording.
Yeah,
of the-
I'm a
Did you show
relatively a
photographs of the
slob.
trash that you had taken?
Yes.
And did she provide you with a statement?
She did.
After
No.
meeting with Ms. Almeida on May 28th, did you perform additional tasks for the case that week?
Yes.
I could see 10,
Describe to
but
the
come
jury
on,
some of the things
30?
that you did.
30.
So
30 is
we
a little
looked
much.
for video footage. We canvassed some.
Yeah, but
areas
throwing
in
them
the
all
community
over
to try to
town, would you
find
do
video.
that?
I know contractors that
And
do that
specifically
regularly.
Friday, May the 31st.
It's not
I was
legal,
tasked with
but
going
they
up
do
to
it
The Capital City Command Center to review some video.
because
Yeah,
they don't
would
want to
you
pay
have-
for they don't want to pay for dumpster space.
From,
Okay, the chat is
items,
challenging today. I think I
uncovered
warned
the
them
night
up.
prior.
That's
The
okay.
Central District Major Crime Squad. The purpose of me going up there was to ensure that.
might have.
Miss-
If he cut
Who gave you that
himself.
assignment?
That was Detective Sergeant Ventresca.
Or
When you
if
say
my girlfriend had the
purpose
time of the
your
month,
Visit was to ensure that nothing had been missed, that someone already.
that doesn't mean I murdered
At
her.
that point,
No, but
Yes,
it
to
doesn't
my
mean it.
understanding they had.
approximately what time of day did you arrive at C4?
I mean,
midday,
I'm
late morning,
throwing
afternoon.
out defense arguments.
I know
And
you
upon
are, and
arrival
I
at
love
C4,
it. That's why I love
which is
having you
now
on.
stands for Capital City Command Center, correct?
That is correct.
You know, but I had that time of the month. I never had paper
I can remember
towels.
meeting with a gentleman
Yeah,
named
well,
Josh Quint. Who was
some
an
people are not as
intelligence
quick
analyst,
as
with
you
the
might
Hartford
have
Police
been.
Department.
Or as
Or it might
clean
be.
as I was. So she
So
does
he began
that
to take you
define
through some of the footage
trashy
that they
day.
have.
Who knows?
Computer program that they have.
But the point is, if the answer is
you're
who
able to
knows,
find certain
if the
vehicles
answer
of,
is who knows, then the defense wins.
a type and color, as I understand it. And so those folks were given the types of vehicles that we were interested in that were associated with Mr. Dulos. So they
Oh,
ended up finding
Lori Ann, I
black-
love
what appeared
it.
to be a black Ford Raptor pickup. truck
Lorianne,
traveling,
what is the
along
quantity
Albany
that
Avenue,
is normal?
where Mr. Dulos had discarded
Some people have heavier.
several items.
I don't want to
Ah.
get.
City traffic receptacle. He began to show me some of that footage.
And did you have a description of Mr. Dulos prior to arriving at?
I
C4?
don't either.
Yes.
I don't either.
And did you also have a description of someone named Michelle Troconis?
Yes, I did.
Do you see Michelle?
All right,
Troconis?
everybody in the
I do.
comments, shut down on
Point
that.
her out and tell us
Okay,
what
this
article
is
or
done.
what she's wearing.
I'm giving a stupid hypothetical. I was not actually
She is
suggesting that was an
seated,
argument, guys.
On my right side of the
All right,
table
guys,
over
we're
there,
not
she's wearing what
arguing.
appears to be a blue coat and a green sweater.
Judge,
Oh
I
God!
have.
Why did you let me into this show?
what was the general description of Michelle Troconis that you had?
I didn't see any photo.
Honor, hearsay?
Well, what was the general description?
You guys, let's change the subject.
It's offered to show, as the court hears it, what to look for,
That's right.
so overruled.
What was the general description you had of Michelle Troconis?
I didn't have a photograph of her, but I was told that she
Oh,
was,
okay, here's.
I was told that.
aged, tall, slender, with brown hair.
That was a
Had you
perfectly
since
valid
had a chance to
objection,
meet
and
with,
it was
defendant in
overruled.
person?
Let's go back to law.
And
Yeah, let's go
She
back to the
matched that general
law
description?
instead of
She
women's.
did.
Yeah, I that's not exactly my area of expertise.
Okay,
as you
okay,
were
everybody, we're
reviewing
gonna do
the
a
C4 footage.
back to
Did
law.
you review any video in which it appeared that an object consistent with a WeatherTech liner was displayed?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. The video speaks for itself. The jury has now seen it multiple times. That's a leading question. It also assumes facts. not
Excellent
evidence,
objection.
And I ask that it be stricken.
Well, the question was, did you?
Excellent
review the
objection.
video and see what would be described as a WeatherTech match? Well, that's leading. The jury has seen the video, but the court is not certain that the jury.
Argue cumulative.
What
Jesus,
came out of
you
that
don't use the
vehicle was
words.
WeatherTech match.
It's
So,
cumulative.
As far
That's
as
what
a
he's
leading
arguing, but
question
he's not
is concerned,
saying
will
it.
Sustain the objection.
Did you review video in which?
No, don't
someone-
play it again.
well, strike that. Did you also have a description of Mr. Dulos?
Yes, I did.
And what was that general description?
Also the same, middle-aged, white male, average height and build.
And did you review video in which Mr. Dulos had objects in his hands?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. Nobody's identified the video individual at this point. So it's not only leading, but it's assuming facts not in it.
I'll rephrase. Did you review video in which someone who matched the general description of Mr. Dulos that you had been provided had objects in his hands?
Yes, I did.
And can you describe for the jury in general terms what type of objects you viewed in this individual's hands?
Again, Your Honor, the jury has seen the video. It's not proper
It's
for this
cumulative.
witness to editorialize about what's in the video. You can certainly testify to what he did, but to let him describe it.
The judge is going to let it in, but the objection's valid.
Well, the court disagrees that the jury on its own can figure that out. It is not clear that the jury could figure out that what was held was a WeatherTech mat. The jury can figure out what a garbage bag looks like, but the court is going to overrule the objection.
Yeah, I know
Any
he's going to
answers?
let it in.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the
But
question?
the argument is cumulative evidence.
Did someone who matched the general description of Mr. Dulos have any objects in his hand, and can you describe what objects you viewed?
I like that they're objecting.
Yes, so several. I observed the individual take what appeared to be contractor-style black garbage bags from the rear of his vehicle.
I don't know.
What I would describe to be a
You recognize the other flag on its
square or
lapel?
rectangular black rubber mat,
Mhm.
consistent with being like a floor liner or something like that.
Let's just stop there for just 1 second. If we can call up. I'm just gonna ask my colleague. This is state.
Why is the jury here for all of these evidentiary objections? I really hate that.
You didn't miss much. We just got back from lunch, believe it or not.
So, Debbie, so far, this is just the state's case.
One moment.
So the defense can't be
Sergeant
cumulative
Newton, is
by
this the,
nature.
C4 footage that you reviewed?
Yes, it is.
I don't really understand the question. Okay. I agree with you. The speaking objections are very frustrating.
I'm just gonna pause that for 1 second. Is this the male that you were referencing earlier that matched the general description of Mr. Dulos?
Yes, it is.
What would that general description? What?
General description.
So he's a somewhat swarthy male. I guess if he's reaching into it, he has to be what?
I'm
Maybe.
just gonna pause it there. Sergeant Butin, you testified earlier that you observed this male holding what appeared to be a rubber mat. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is this the object that you were referring to?
Yes, it is.
Again, Your Honor, I just want to make clear, I'm objecting. This is lay opinion, it's speculation. There's no.
Excellent.
This, you could certainly not tell what material it's made out of. It's irrelevant. And I also just would throw in that it's a characterization of a video. This is not firsthand. So, and finally, this is, I would say, a violation of the Code of Evidence 4-3.
Well, the court, based on the video and the objection, would pose a question. Sergeant Butin, did you find out later that that was a square
That's not relevant.
rectangular rubber mat?
No, wrong, Judge.
Determine that just from
Stop.
this video that was a square rectangular rubber mat.
So it appears to me, just based on the video, Your Honor, but I also had knowledge of the fact that
No,
there was one.
the
missing.
judge is entering evidence.
Well, the answer is, it appears that way, but I
Appears.
took other things into consideration. That's the answer, which suggests to this court that the video alone does not suggest that this is a black
Please sustain the objection.
rubber mat. The video alone, according to this witness, he did not conclude on the video alone.
Okay,
It was a WeatherTech.
sustained.
So you may proceed.
Yeah, and just to be clear.
No, give an
you're not
instruction to the jury.
What that is, correct?
Absolutely not.
You're testifying it's consistent with.
He sustained the objection without
Well,
explicitly sustaining the
that's a-
objection.
I'm treating this like a murder case. You don't really think we're gonna find them, do you?
That's all
We
you
are
had.
this close.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
I'm not going to pay for YouTube Premium because I don't want to support YouTube. But that's beside the point.
It appeared to be consistent with a rubber
That-
mat.
Court is indicating it's sustaining the objection.
Thank you. I love how the prosecutor looks lost. He's like, wait, okay, what do I do now? Yes, that was in that video. I don't know if it's clear from this particular angle. But so what? Throwing out trash is now a crime?
If it's evidence.
But evidence of what? And again, all of this is
Are you
Did
familiar
Dulos
with something known
kill
as
his-
WeatherTech liner?
Yes, I am.
significant
What is
other.
WeatherTech liner?
Yeah,
They're
I think
laser
that's
cut
probably true.
floor liners. I actually own a pair myself.
What does that have to do with this case?
The company is here in the United States, and they basically make custom floor liners for a multitude of different vehicles, makes, models, and years and whatnot. They make front and rear floor liners, utility area liners, seat covers, etc. The commercials are all over TV.
Outside of the scope
What
of
material are
expertise.
WeatherTech liners made out of?
Black rubber.
Outside of the scope of expertise.
Or hardened plastic, I guess would probably be a better description. But the mats in the back are more rubber. Like the
For the love of God, object.
floor liners where your feet go are harder, but the ones for the back are a little more flexible, I guess is how I describe them.
And when you
Are you an
say
expert
back,
on
what area
floor
are you
liners?
referring to?
The
Your
cargo
Honor,
area.
I'm going to object foundation, the fact that he
Thank
might
you.
own an SUV or might
Oh my
know
God, it
something
only
about
took him
it's
to actually
irrelevant,
say the
and
statement
he's
before
not
you
an
decided
expert
to
in
object
cyber. He
to
doesn't
it.
work for the WeatherTech or any other company that installs.
Oh, dear
mats.
God.
So therefore, I would argue that this is not
What did you bring me into, Nancy?
Well, the
It's
question has to
Monday.
do
It's
with
too early.
What does WeatherTech manufacture?
It's not me that's bringing that
Well, the
into
court
you.
understands the question.
It's them.
And if he's familiar with, this witness is familiar with what WeatherTech manufactures, the court will allow the test
Lay the foundation.
overruled.
How the hell does he know that?
When you mention the back, what area of the vehicle are you referring to?
The cargo area, the utility area, the back of an SUV behind the seats.
John, you're gonna make it.
I know I will.
We
And I
Did
appreciate
there
the
come a point in
support.
time where
But
you reviewed additional surveillance footage?
that was not laying the foundation.
Person who appeared to be the same male operator discarded
Oh,
additional
God.
items?
Yes.
Can you describe that?
You
footage?
remember the times when I
Yes,
said I
so-
really like good lawyering?
The final stop that the individual appearing to
Those
be
times
Mr.
are
Dulos
gone.
made was on Albany Avenue in front of a Jamaican bakery. I believe
Those
the
times are
intersection of Blue
gone?
Hills Avenue.
I have not
he
seen
exited
good
his
lawyering
vehicle
on
with
this trial for the last week
what
and a
appeared to
half.
be maybe a pile of papers or something. to
Again,
that
Your
effect.
Honor,
I
On
don't-
either
I'm
side.
objecting. What appears, again, is the same thing. If
Well-
it's not recovered,
Well, he just indicated he did not know what it
I need duct
So-
tape.
was. Perhaps you did not.
Again,
hear that
these are
part
good
of it.
objections. He
Appears
just
to be
doesn't
did
know
not
how
know
to
what it was, is what he
state them.
Well, he
exited
doesn't know
his
how
vehicle
to
with,
ask.
I don't know what it was. That's the
He
thing.
doesn't know how to bring it
state
home.
them.
So
That's
it's
overruled.
So he exited the vehicle with
Yeah,
unknown objects,
John.
something in his hands.
Here.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause for one moment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into why I'm so frustrated at this.
Okay.
Because all he said is, oh, well, the question was, he said it appeared to be. Okay, but actually put that in the form of an objection. So is he speculating on what it actually was, which is what is actually occurring here? Or is he being led by the prosecution to say what it was? Or is there some sort of external evidence that there is no foundation for that gives him the expertise or qualities of knowledge to determine what they were?
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 objections that you
Okay.
can toss at this as opposed to what the guy actually said. That's 3 objections you could toss at this as opposed to what they actually did.
I just couldn't make out what. And he walked over to the trash receptacle and he discarded whatever that unknown
And yes,
object
Debbie's absolutely right. After
objects were.
44 years of experience.
However, another object.
Lay the
remained in his
foundation.
hand,
That's the foundation
that he did
argument.
Not discard in the garbage. And at C4, they have very large screen TVs, much like this one, and they can zoom in. And when we zoomed
It
in,
didn't do any of that.
Mr. Quinn and myself were of the opinion that it looked
Objection.
Well, sustained.
Excellent.
When you zoomed in, were you able to see the colors of the object discarded in the store more clearly?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury what color the object was?
So the object overall looked white, and we saw like orange and blue on the object. And
Yes, Wombat Mommy, that would
I
be a
can
much
say what
better
that to me that
answer,
looked like.
and that would be
No, that's all right.
generally unobjectionable.
Now, actually, we're just.
But when you say it is, you need to have some sort of backing and foundation for that determination to have been made. If you say it appears to me, fine. I saw what looked like. Okay. But when you're trying to introduce into evidence what is, that is a different matter.
So this is the rubber mat that was probably in the vehicle, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you really can't say appears to be, because I really
Well,
doesn't-
he's commenting on the video. Now, what they
Right.
actually recovered from the trash, then he can talk about what actually is. But he can't tell what is just from the video.
So my next question is, I wonder if they recovered anything from the trash. They
I
probably
don't
did.
know. I genuinely do not know.
Did they have
That's gotta be where they're going.
Sergeant Buten. I just
But they
want to
can't
direct your
do it by
attention now
pure
to the
implication.
vehicle itself. Does it
Oh.
appear as though a female passenger has exited the vehicle at this
I'm
point?
going to object. First of all, it's a mischaracterization. Nobody's exited it. And second of all, we're again having him characterize what's on the video that all of these jurors can see. I would submit that under state versus.
The evidence
Howard,
speaks
it's
for itself.
improper for a lay witness to narrate a video. when
For him to
present.
comment on the video is not appropriate.
If I can just be heard on this, Your Honor, and if I have to be heard at sidebar, I will, but I'd like to make an offer of proof to the court.
Well, the question is, does it appear to you?
If he wants to
that a
proffer,
female
that's
is
fine.
exiting the Raptor? That's the question. So does it appear to you that a female passenger?
Who the fuck cares what his opinion is on what it appears to be in the video?
Well-
The video speaks for itself.
The question itself, you can be heard, counsel. The question itself is an interpretive.
I apologize for my language. This is
What
starting
the
to
court-
annoy me.
And the jury is able to see is a door open, someone leaning out of that door. The issue of whether it's a female and whether she's exiting in the common sense of exiting as in getting out of the vehicle according to this video, would be a mischaracterization.
I'll rephrase, Judge.
So
Okay.
At this point, the video is paused. Can you, directing your attention now to the individual just above the male operator, can you describe that individual for the jury?
Again, Your Honor, I think the image.
That's an objection.
This
Objection.
witness is not in any better position than the jurors to see what's in the. video.
Correct.
Well,
If I
Correct.
maybe
you
heard
can
it that
sharpen
way.
the question, counsel. Can you describe the individual? What is seen here?
No.
Can you tell height.
Let the video
Wait.
speak for itself. For the love of God.
So what can be described from what is on the video?
The
is
video
fairly
speaks for
limited.
itself. And the jurors are the ultimate fact finders.
If that's
He is
the
in no position
video
to tell the
from which
jury
we're
what the
asking
facts
this
are and what
It is,
he's
Your Honor.
seeing.
I'm just
Because what
simply
he's
asking
seeing
him to
is
describe
less
what
relevant
he's observing on
than
the video.
every one of those jurors.
Well, what the court is going to do is listen to the description and entertain any objections after that.
He didn't
Could you
excuse the
describe
jurors, though.
individual, above the male operator?
Nancy, this is what has been driving me nuts the entire trial. He doesn't excuse the jurors during these evidentiary conversations.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. They should not be
Kinda
listening
hard
to
tell,
this.
maybe her hair is
Because in
like
my
that.
opinion,
And
what the
I can
cop
see
thinks he
one of
sees,
her feet
I don't give a shit.
on the sidewalk,
It's what the
and
jury's-
her right hand
what the
goes
jurors
down toward,
Believe.
toward the brick or pavement.
You don't have to tell them what they
Was
see.
this the only time
That's deeply
that
prejudicial.
you observed
Why don't they proffer
a
him?
female with this particular male individual? In the
They tried to, but the judge
Miss Woody,
wouldn't
yes.
excuse the jury.
No, that's where I disagree with him. Seriously.
Right, and honestly, I agree. It seems like there's a woman leaning out of the vehicle. But that is not for some witness to say. That is for the jury to decide. The video speaks for itself.
It really does. It spoke for me. It spoke to me. I didn't need a description of what I saw. I saw a lady. I saw somebody who actually leaned out of the vehicle. Mommy thinks she was out of the vehicle, but I think she was like leaning to get something that was dropped.
Maybe.
I believe the address is 1344.
But who the hell cares what his opinion is of that? Everybody else, the jurors are watching it.
So do I have an opinion of what happened there? Is that a crime?
I can't.
Based on what
She
you
stood
saw
up?
on this
Okay.
video, you describe for the jury what action.
What
you took.
I'm gonna say, and this is why I'm a little incensed, is you watch the video. You
Right.
can come to your own conclusions, you as jurors. You don't need this idiot on the stand telling you what to see, because that
Correct.
creates a danger.
Yes, it does.
Because
Because you're
it
going to
might-
hear
Go ahead.
you're going to hear a biased on his
And-
part of what he wants the jury to hear and see.
Right. So when you hear him describe how he saw it, then you're
Right.
by nature, we build patterns and we're like, yeah, that actually makes sense, as opposed to having an independent recollection of the video.
Right.
This is wrong.
I agree.
You should actually look at the video yourself, come up with a determination. Just because we all maybe agree with what you saw.
You know me, I don't always say I agree unless I agree, but I agree with this
This is
because
wrong.
this is just like the media telling you how to think, right?
Exactly.
This is the media telling you what to think, right? So this guy who's on the stand, why is he telling me?
Why is he narrating the video as opposed to you watching it and drawing your own conclusions?
Exactly.
It's
okay.
deeply frustrating.
It is frustrating.
Yes.
And the judge is
So,
letting him do it.
As I stated earlier, the individual appearing to be Mr. Dulos through some items.
I'm going to
or
object.
an
The
item
question was, what did you do next? And instead, he's giving another narrative.
Well, the question is, well, what did you do after reviewing the video? And he began by saying, the individual who appeared to be Mr. Dulos.
Which is not appropriate and non-responsive to the question. Objection, non-responsive.
The fact that I observed that individual.
I wish that the
individual
defense
throw those
team
things out
actually
in the
knew
trash
their
receptacle and
objections,
choose to
but
discard whatever the
I'm
other
not
object was
criticizing
down the
them.
storm drain was interesting to me. And I wanted to try to recover whatever that was.
Walnut Mommy, I agree with
So I
you.
inquired with the
It was an
C4 folks,
inappropriate question.
about who maintained the storm drain and who we would use to assist us in recovering that item. And the answer I was given was
The answer I was given was
which is the
objection hearsay.
Metropolitan District
Come on.
Control, or the water authority essentially for the greater Hartford area. They sent out a pump truck to us out on the street.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
Did you head to this area of Albany Avenue?
Yes,
Approximately how long did it take you to arrive?
I don't remember.
Was it within the hour, would you say?
Yes.
It's so frustrating because sometimes they're so
And
good on the
if
objections
anyone
and
from the state
sometimes they
police
just
met
let
you
things
on
slide.
station?
Detective Fitzsimons, Detective Zella. who
And
was
by the way,
on
not for
team,
nothing, without
Trooper
criticizing
Sanders,
the professional
Trooper Chapman,
integrity
also
of
divers.
this prosecutor,
I had divers come.
he knows he's
just
asking
because I didn't know
inappropriate
what we were going to
questions.
encounter, if we were going to need them to go down there, or if
He
the
doesn't
pump truck
care.
was going to be able to facilitate removing the item. A lot of unknowns, so I was just trying to think outside the box and bring whatever resources I knew we had available. To
Of course
the
you can
area.
ask how approximately long it took. Sure.
And you indicated that MDC.
You have to lay the
showed up
foundation
with a
for the
pump truck, Is
question,
that correct?
That's correct.
but
And once MDC arrived with the pump truck, what happened next?
Detective Zella and
I
myself.
genuinely don't know.
Basically told them to empty out the truck. They had relayed to us that they were pumping out. other
Again, we
drains
haven't
that
seen
day,
their defense,
in order to
so
ensure that the
until
truck-
then,
the
I don't
tank
know
itself
what they
is
actually
empty,
care about being
so that if
introduced and what they
whatever
don't.
was down there maybe was sucked up the hose, we'd be able to empty out the back and definitively say that whatever was in the tank came from that particular storm drain.
Did the MDC truck leave at that point?
Yes,
Debbie,
Did it
you're
eventually
absolutely
return?
correct.
it did.
That is
Approximately how long did it
not
take to return?
uncommon.
Maybe a half an hour or so.
You might as well
And during
take the
this half
shot.
hour, did you remain at that location with your fellow state police officers?
I left quickly to meet up with.
It's not the
search
way
and
the
rescue
rules are
canines,
supposed to
gave
work,
them a
but
map so they could begin to search the area of Albany
sometimes
and
that
Milford.
is an opinion of certain
The
prosecutors.
footage
I'm not
depicted
saying him
that black
particularly.
rapid turning onto Milford Street and disappearing for some time before it came back out into the view on Albany Ave. So I got the search and rescue canines into that area so that they could begin to search that area. And after I met with them, I came back to the area of the storm drain.
And were you present when the MDC truck arrived?
Yes.
Do you recall how many employees from MDC responded?
2, I believe.
When they arrived, what steps did they take in your presence?
They had showed us the back. They opened it up, showed us it was empty, closed it. They removed the grate from the storm drain. They had like a big hook that they put down there and pulled it out. They lowered a hose down into the storm drain where all the water was, and they turned on their truck and started to suck out water.
Okay.
As they were sucking out water, can you describe what happened next?
Yes, the envelope actually got stuck to their equipment, and they were able to pull it out like that.
All right, I want to just break this down a little bit. You say the envelope. Can you describe what you heard as they were sucking water out of the sewer?
Yeah, it was like a clink. It was like a clink noise.
And after you heard the clink noise, what did you see next?
As they began to lift their equipment up, you could see that there was an envelope, like a FedEx envelope, that was coming up out of the water with their equipment. And Detective Fitzsimons had gloved hands, and he reached in and recovered the envelope and put it over by the sidewalk, opened it up. And when he opened it up to pull out the contents, we saw 2 Connecticut license plates in the envelope.
Okay.
Were photographs taken of those license plates?
Yes.
And this is where he
May I have
was
this marked for
introduced.
identification, Your Honor?
What number? Well, not yet. But yes.
Okay.
40 for identification. I did provide Attorney Schoenwald with a copy.
No objection. 40 admitted as a full exhibit.
Wow, that is a really. Okay, so he found a FedEx. They opened the envelope. They found 2 Connecticut license plates. Are you getting duct tape? Yeah, I have duct tape right here. If he...
Yeah, it doesn't
I'm
look
just
great,
going
but
with,
Is he really?
displaying a photograph labeled 683.
Duct tape?
no, I'm
Anybody?
trying to do a little bit of office work while I'm watching this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sergeant Buten, do you recognize that photograph, sir?
I was opening a FedEx
Can you
envelope
tell what
myself.
that photograph is?
Oh,
That photograph is a picture of the white envelope that was recovered from the storm drain on Albany and Blue Hills on
And did
Friday,
you-
May 31st.
Did you witness this envelope in the position it is in this photograph?
Yes,
Showing you photograph labeled 683_0002. Are those the license plates?
yes, they are.
And did you view these license plates in their position?
Yes,
As they are in this photograph?
yes,
mm.
Okay.
And this is photograph 03 in that file. These are the same license plates.
No,
is that
he's
correct?
getting some
sir.
office work done.
Photograph number 4.
Yeah, is there anything
Same
wrong
license
with that?
plates, correct?
Yeah, I got the duct tape
yes.
because I was duct taping things
Actually, if we could just leave that up for 1
while on
second.
break.
The license plate here reads 5T6WBU. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
While you were present, were any efforts made by state police personnel to run these license plates?
Yes.
What were the results when these license plates were run?
I called into dispatch and ran them as they are, and they came back to nothing.
When you say they came back to nothing, what does that mean?
It means there was no record found, meaning no such plates existed in the Connecticut DMV database.
And so after you received notification that no such plates existed, did you notice anything about the sequence of the letters and numbers themselves?
Well, yeah, we noticed that they were a bit odd. Typically, plates that were issued out like that were would start with 3 numbers. and
It's
then end
very
with 3
unlikely to be
letters.
anything
Obviously, here you have
It's objectionable here.
a letter mixed in with the numbers, so that was odd to us. And to Detective Simons' credit, he actually, with his gloved hand, started to mess around with some of the characters that looked funny to us. And that's when we realized there was some effort made to alter their appearance.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
When you say that there was some effort made to alter their appearance, can you be a little bit more descriptive for the jury?
Yeah, yes. So if I may, can I?
Yes, sir.
That T.
So this T here, when Detective Fitzsimons messed around with it, we could see that the top portion actually wasn't.
And the B and the U.
Like a blue tape with like a clear adhesive. Is the best way I could describe it. So this character is actually a 1. The same here. This was made to be a B, but it's actually a D. And then here we have what was supposed to be a J with the extra material added to make it appear to be a U.
Oh.
So were you able to discern what the actual
Oh, they were altered.
numbers and letters were?
Yes.
And was a subsequent?
Yeah, those look altered.
um,
Definitely.
search done for those particular plates?
Yes, it was.
Who did that?
I did.
And what were the results, sir?
So I called dispatch back
and ran the plates the correct way, and they came back canceled on a 2007 Chevy Suburban.
Now, all of
that
this
was
would be a
registered to Mr.
great
Dulos.
argument against Dulos. What does that have to do with the defendant?
I don't know. I don't know, hon. So they were traced as what they should have been, right? And they came back as
Yeah.
the defendant? No, the deceased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure what's in the envelope is what I think.
So it did come back as Fotis.
I'm not entirely certain.
Anybody in
Why
chat
don't we
knows?
just leave it for ID for a moment. I probably won't have any objection. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Thank you.
As what?
Detective Newton,
Oh, Mommy, do you know? Did I miss something? I missed something.
Detective Newton, did you seize those license plates?
Good job. Lay the foundation before you open the
How
envelope.
were those license plates seized?
I put them into a bag and secured them in the trunk of my cruiser.
Secure the chain of custody.
And if I were to show you
Ooh,
license plates, would you recognize them?
ooh.
No, that's
We have
absolutely
some
the
gloves in
theory.
front of you, sir. Oh, very good.
I just don't know how we get there.
So at this point, I'm just going to ask, well, firstly, let me ask a preliminary question.
I like that they're using gloves they didn't in the Rittenhouse trial.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And there's also
So
what
maybe
appears to be
Michigan
numbers
learned
DSS
something. Wisconsin learned.
002984.
All right.
That's the state.
Maybe
license.
people learned something.
That's correct.
So these license plates have been sent.
It's easy to get confused what state you're looking at.
That would be accurate, yes.
Yes,
I'm
it
just
is.
going to ask that you cut open this envelope and just peer inside and tell us what you see.
Oh, we get exhibitings.
Again, for folks, this is chain of custody.
Chain of custody? Okay.
Yep. The point
Two
is
dead
that
license plates that
everything
Is there anything
needs
else?
to be sealed and controlled until it's in
I
front
can
of
open it
him.
up a little more to see, sorry.
So he's identifying them so that they can ultimately introduce them as evidence.
And is that part of the chain of custody?
Yes, generally speaking, you want everything to be sealed and controlled from the time it's collected all the way through court until the witness is actually introducing the evidence.
Okay, they got to verify
yes,
the
there is.
evidence.
What else is in the bag?
It's a white FedEx envelope that the plates were in.
Are these the objects that you seized on May 31st, 2019?
Yes, they are.
Judge, I move it in.
I need to see what else is in the bag. I just don't want to bring it to parts of that.
There are.
We could just maybe do it over here on the side.
And the plot thickens. Before I own
Well, the defense wants to make sure that there's nothing else in that envelope, that there's no sort of
Right.
contamination. But part of the reason why chain of custody and why you see like plastic bags sometimes being opened is because once they're seized, they need to be stored as evidence or potential evidence. And everybody needs to agree what we're actually dealing with before it actually is presented as physical evidence, because those items can go back to the jury.
Mhm.
Because who knows, maybe there's a note in there describing something that the witness could also glance at. Again, it's a hypothetical. I don't think that's the case. Oh, there's a lot in that envelope.
Lot.
That's more than 2 license plates, it looks like.
I have no objection to putting out these other items that were in there will have to be to a different business. So, as long as those are kept separate, I'm fine.
And that, is that states 40?
This is states 40, Judge, and just for the record, there are some.
Oh, yeah, me too. You could see their screen. Somebody can go in their docs, their computer.
Oh, blame law and crime.
40A, excuse me, 41A, for identification purposes only, and just keep everything together.
So states 40 will be admitted as a full exhibit.
41, Judge.
41 will be admitted as a full exhibit. 41A is for ID purposes only.
Correct. Actually, there's several of them. So we'll just label them A.
This is sloppy lawyering.
How many are there?
This is sloppy lawyering.
Okay, John, explain what you mean by that.
You should know what's in the envelope. If the point is that you're opening the evidence envelope in order to present your license plates, you should know that there are other items in there beforehand, and they should have been logged and discussed with the defense prior to the trial.
Okay, so basically he didn't know what was in there.
Shall return at
He clearly did not.
3.
This is why they're taking a pause. Because they're trying to discuss what the hell else was in that envelope.
I'm sorry, 348.
Okay, this would be a good time for John to explain what we have seen so far. What do you think, John?
All rise.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine doing that. If you give me an update on what I've missed, because I have missed a decent chunk of the trial. So.
All right. Sure.
I mean, I can talk about what the issue is right now.
Why don't we do that real quick, and because it does kind of follow the path of this. So I think that's a good idea, and I'm going to take off these things because I literally feel like I'm talking into a tunnel. Okay.
Let's see if they have a colloquy. If they don't, then I'll go into my thoughts.
Okay.
So how do you end up with multiple items in an evidentiary envelope? There are many ways that happens. It's for convenience purposes, for keeping the records purposes, keeping things together. I mean, there are so many different ways that happens. But we have an issue now where we're talking about chain of evidence and we're talking about discovery. So when the prosecution wants to have this officer testify to the contents of the envelope, which I think everyone agrees contains the 2 license plates, but it also has other things inside of it, then the defense wants to know what else is he saying is here. And each of those individual other items, which I don't know what they are, and I think to some extent, neither does the defense, which is a little strange. Yeah, Debbie, I don't think they said what those other items were. They looked like they were individually sealed, and maybe everything was put into one packet for filing purposes because, as a practical matter, keep stuff together, that's a good thing. We like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the defense needs to know when this guy is testifying to the contents of the envelope, and then the prosecution says, we would like to enter into evidence the contents of the envelope. That's more than the 2 license plates. That's the 4 other things. And that's a problem because the defense doesn't know what those 4 other things are. And I think the defense was very astute to ask, can I see what else is in that envelope first, please? And while I don't think they have a particular objection necessarily to those items being evidence, the way that it was being introduced is not appropriate. And sometimes process is more as important as substance.
Okay, I have a question that kind of lines in to what mommy says too. My question to you is, does the defense know beforehand what's in these envelopes? Are they
They ought to.
okay? So are they like before the trial begins? They're going to say this 41A is going to go into evidence, and do they have to, like mommy said right here? Does the envelope be listed what all the items were on the envelope in the envelope? Do they know beforehand?
Generally speaking, they should be, but here's part of the problem
Because
is
you said it was
that
sloppy.
they're listed by Bates numbers, generally speaking, and Bates numbers literally think about them as like barcodes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're exchanging evidence, you Bates stamp them. And
Okay.
so a Bates number is basically a barcode saying, and you get an entire spreadsheet of here's all of the stuff that we have. Here are the numbers associated with each of those things or each page of any given document. So it can be absolutely overwhelming when you're talking about, let's say, hypothetically, tens of thousands of pages of documents, and they're all numbered, generally speaking, sequentially. It's not like the old card catalogs where it works that way. So I don't know that they necessarily have to say how they're packaged per se. And if you notice, the defense said that they generally don't have an objection as long as they have a minute to be clear on what those other items are. So they were packaged all together. He can't necessarily testify to the other items because there might not have been a foundation laid on whatever those other items are. There was a foundation laid on the license plates.
Okay.
Nobody disputes that.
Right.
But the other stuff in the envelope, because of the way that it was packaged, he can't necessarily provide the foundation to each and every one of them. And so in an overabundance of caution, we would like to take a couple minutes away, ask the other side, what are these other things in the envelope? We get it. I'm not trying to say anything nefarious was done, but we want to know what the other items are before he is the basis for introducing them as pieces of evidence.
So this a defense attorney knew what the evidence of 41A was, okay? So he had the list, like you said, everything's barcoded. Now he wants to make sure that is exactly what's in there.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that's why it was relatively short, and that's why they're only taking a 10-minute break, basically, just to make sure that everything's on the up and up before he unseals the other packages.
That makes sense.
And that's why both of them had gloves on, although, the prosecutor took gloves off later, but that's because it's already in court record, whatever. But the whole idea at the end of the day is we just want to make sure before he starts unsealing the other packages, we know that they are what they purport to be. Because it's a little odd to mix evidence into the same envelope, basically. It is a little, and it's not.
Yeah,
I'm
really.
not saying there's anything nefarious.
Right.
It's totally understandable.
Okay, so this is just part of it's nothing unusual for a defense attorney to do this, obviously, right?
No, of course not.
Actually, it's probably good practice to do this as an attorney, right?
If anything, it's a little odd for a prosecutor to package materials together like that. I can understand, like I said, for efficiency reasons, why they would.
When you said it was sloppy lawyering before
you're gonna have to remind me of the particular circumstance because there were a couple points.
Okay, but that's just okay. That's okay. So anyway, while you were gone, we did see a lot of video of Fotis's car going to different parts of the city of
I believe
Hartford.
that.
Okay, and it was well presentable. We learned a little bit, and that you were challenges on, but they had a video. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just go. Let me just
Yeah,
go.
no worries. Actually, do you mind if I use the restroom real quick?
No.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
So, you guys, think we're going to get some plot? The plot thickens? Or the plot's just beginning? The plot's just beginning. So those of you who are just joining us, we are just now getting into what's in a FedEx envelope that was recovered from one of the trash cans near the restaurant, I believe. Yes. And they found a FedEx, and there was 2 license plates found in this FedEx that looked like it was fudged a little bit. Yeah, not a little bit. It looked like it was changing the numbers. So they got it and they recovered it, and allegedly, I think they found out if the true license plates belonged to the deceased Fotis. Am I correct? Anybody wants to correct me? You know how I am. I always stand correct. So, so right now, this is what I'm reporting on. And so, John, okay. I was just telling whoever came in what we were left off on. But anyway, now we're going to change gears here, everyone. We are going to talk about what happened while John was, before John came on today. So we had Joshua Quinn, the state police criminal analysis, and we looked at the video, and he was just describing fixed videos and had a whole bunch of them on, how they usually do that. And then we kind of followed. He was just giving you the map of where he went, just kind of like the route and everything else. All right, so then we saw what was going on. I think you saw probably some of this video in the after launch, the beginning, where we saw Fotis stopped at a corner. Don't ask me what streets and all that, because I really don't, it doesn't
matter.
It doesn't matter. But anyway, stop at a street. He gets out of the car. He walks kind of around the car. And then we see allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because we don't really know who it is. So I think that's fair enough. And
nobody's been able to positively identify who
allegedly a woman. I'm not going to say who,
I don't even know if they can possibly identify as a woman.
Well, that's just not good reporting if you say that. So anyway, it looked like she was like she. I mean, okay, it's a she to me, okay?
Well, again, I don't care about good reporting. I care about good law.
No. I know it's good reporting, good law. I'm a journalist, okay? I'm not a lawyer. So anyway.
Sorry, I'm gonna push back on you when I see.
Just because I have a mind like an attorney. So anyway, she just kind of leans in there. He, she, whatever you want to call her. Yeah.
Who knows?
And kind of picks up something. Mommy thinks she was standing up. She was actually out of the vehicle, but I don't think she was. But anyway, and she puts it back
I didn't
in.
see her on the vehicle.
Huh?
There might have been one foot on the vehicle, if I remember the video.
I neither.
This is the whole point of why the jury decides as opposed to the officer testifying.
Yeah, and so it's really weird how after she did that, the male, I'm not going to say names because, we haven't, I don't think you can identify because it's, anyway. So he goes in, he goes around. No, he goes right back to her. I don't know what he said to her or anything, and then goes back into the car.
Okay.
All right. So what does that prove? I don't know.
I don't know.
She was probably with him.
Whoever.
Whoever was with him. Okay.
Maybe he picked up a hooker and just decided to drive her around to throw out trash.
Anything's possible in life.
I mean, is that precluded?
It all goes back to the hearsay of a video that you were talking about. And by the way, it is hearsay because the person is not alive to describe what happened into the video.
Correct.
I did my homework.
I believe you. And it's sort of not hearsay.
It's like how could that?
There is an exception. So, for instance, during the course of a police investigation, if they collect video from other areas, it comes under the government documents exception. So once the police collect it as potential evidence, then it can potentially be argued to be government documents, but it's really not it's not worth fighting that 9 times out of 10. I think that's actually a bad exception to the rule, but it's...
Yeah, but he's not alive.
He's not alive, but the officers that collected the cameras can say, yes, during the course of my investigation, which is a regular course of my business, we collect video.
Oh, okay, because he went to the business and was able to.
Right, so he's the one authenticating it.
Okay, he's the one who's authenticating. That's what I thought, but I thought that was kind of like an interesting.
Well, hang on, let me give you the exact elements.
It is interesting, though. I mean, it's just, it's like, okay, I can understand what you were saying now.
So at that point, it's just a business record. It's not,
Okay.
Which is an exception to the hearsay rule.
Okay. Let me get my ears in
In the
here.
course of my business, I am a custodian of records. I am the one that actually collected it. I am the one that reviewed it. I can say that this represents what it purports to represent. And we're kind of done at that point. So it comes in.
Mommy, really quick, what was your license plates question? Can you throw that in chat? I think I missed that. I try to catch everything what everybody says. With his past, he could have just easily have another woman in the car. Well,
That's called reasonable doubt.
Yes. Oh, we have a great chat, don't we? Don't we have a great audience?
Absolutely. Always. Always and everywhere.
All right, I gotta use the restroom. So why don't you hold up the fort?
I got it. So it'll be interesting to see, did they allow this continuing line of questions? It seems like the prosecution's frustrated.
We can bring the jury in, please.
What? What did I just do?
And the defense is totally chill. So something happened in the off time. I gotta reopen my channel.
Will counsel stipulate, please?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, so they negotiated a stipulation on the evidence. That seems perfectly reasonable. Everybody agreed that
Handing you what's been entered as evidence.
the items were what they were.
States. So before you, I'm just gonna ask that you take out the license plates and the FedEx envelope.
They stipulated that he can't testify to the other shit in the envelope.
All right, I'm back.
They stipulated that he can't testify to the other shit in the envelope.
What?
He can't be the cause without foundation of the other shit in the envelope. Because he's only allowed to take out the actual license plates.
Oh, so
But the other items he can't necessarily testify to without further foundation.
Yes, yes.
the 41A is out?
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not entirely certain by number, but
Yeah, that's what the number was, I think, kind of.
you could be right.
And similar situation, the adhesive that you had discussed earlier has been removed, is that correct?
Yes.
And just gonna ask if you could just fan out the FedEx envelope for the jury as well.
Again, it's a matter of additional information, but all it takes is additional foundation, but they didn't have it yet. You're muted.
Before we proceed, we would ask the photographer during the
Okay,
of the testimony, please.
That
so
seems
41A can go
That
back
seems
in.
perfectly reasonable to me.
Okay.
Attorney States 41 to the clerk. Sergeant Buton, are those the items that you seized from the sword drain on Albany Avenue on May 31st, 2019?
Okay,
Yes, they are.
And did you subsequently turn over those items to Detective Matthew Riley of the State Police?
Yes.
This is creating chain of
Can I
custody.
just have a moment, Judge?
Yes,
Nothing additional at this time, Your Honor.
in cross-examination.
Thank you.
oh, who is typing so freaking hard?
The court clerk.
Oh, all right, well, excuse me.
There's nothing I can do about that.
Nope. He verified that was the
These
items that
license
he
plates,
recovered
exhibit
on Albany
41, you
Street.
indicated that it came back to a vehicle
Yes,
that
well,
had been
maybe
owned
the
by
rest are out.
Farber
I
Dulos,
doubt
correct?
that.
Yes, sir.
They just haven't
And
made
as I understand
foundation
it, that
with
was a
this detective.
2007
So maybe another
Chevy
one might
Suburban,
be able
is
to
that
bring
correct?
them
That
in.
is correct.
That Chevy Suburban and these license plates,
It would be really
Let me
sneaky
just
if they
draw
were
that
trying to
out.
sneak everything in.
the license plates
Through
had
this
been
guy.
canceled for many years, correct?
I don't
I believe so,
think
yes,
that they
sir.
were trying to do
The
that.
Chevy Suburban had not been registered to Mr. Dulos or his company for many years, correct?
That's accurate, yes.
At least, you said.
But it
at
might
least since
require another witness.
2015, if not earlier, right?
I don't recall the exact day, but that sounds about right.
The reason I'm asking to clarify, there's been some testimony that he owned a Chevy Suburban in 2019, correct?
I believe it was a newer model, yes, sir.
That's what I was going to get to. So that model had its own registration, right?
Correct.
And different license plates, right?
Yes,
This was a vehicle that he had owned maybe prior to 2015, if not several years earlier, right?
at least as early as 2007, yes, sir.
Well, when it was.
When it's a 2007 vehicle. So.
Right, but I'm saying it had ceased to be registered to him at least before 2015, correct?
I can't give you the exact year when they were canceled without looking at the teletypes, but that sounds fair enough.
Right. Well, there may be some evidence of that further down. I was just trying to remember if you recollected that when you did you said you had somebody run those plates, right?
Yes, I did.
And that would be through the Department of Motor Vehicles, right?
Well, yes, sir. So a dispatcher would use the collect system, which accesses the DMV database. Yes.
Yeah, and for the record, collect is That's what it's called, COLLECT. They can look up old motor vehicle registrations, right?
Among other things, yes, sir.
And license plates,
Yes.
and see who was the last person to have
Wait,
that,
Debbie,
those
I
plates
know
registered
exactly
to
where he's
them,
going.
correct?
Accurate, yes, sir.
Okay, very good. When you testified that you saw a female, or that you described the video that was at that location near, I think it was Green Street, correct?
He will.
Maybe in between
Blue Hills.
Blue Hills, yes, sir.
Blue Hills, okay.
He's
So
just
when you
slower than Matt
described
Long.
that, you said that it, I think
Debbie,
the
this
words
is
you used, that it
foreplay.
met
Yeah.
the general description of what you
I
Look at that.
understood to be.
From
Michelle
what I've
Troconis,
seen, he's
right?
very
Yes.
good
And
at
you gave a general
props.
description of her to the
This is
jury,
foreplay.
right?
Yes.
And
Mhm.
you're aware that Michelle
Well,
Troconis
play
told your
foreplay.
colleagues that was in fact her in the Ford Raptor, correct?
I am now, yes.
And you're also aware that she told your fellow state police officers that the driver in fact was Fotis Dulos on that day, right?
As I sit here today, yes.
Right, so when we're talking about it, looks like maybe, at least my client told the police, yes, that's me and that's Fotis Dulos in that vehicle, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good
And
enough.
although
I'm
we
just
watched a
confused,
number of
Tom.
different angles, you sat at C4 headquarters in Hartford and watched the various cameras, right?
Yes, sir.
But so that we're clear, despite the fact that there are multiple camera angles, in fact, the number of times that Fotis Dulos got out of his truck to throw something away totaled 3 that you can observe, correct?
I'd have to look at my reports, sir, to see there's a
Mommy, mommy.
intelligence analyst produced like a timeline of all the occurrences, but I can't recall how many that is right now.
Does that seem right to you?
I don't want to commit to a number without looking at the report. I'm not really sure how many exactly.
But even if we're looking at 6, 7, or 8 different angles, there aren't 7 or 8 different stops that we're looking at. In other words, each of those cameras isn't a different stop, is it?
Each of the angles that view,
Each of the cameras that we've watched is not a different stop with something being thrown away. You understand the question?
I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at, sorry.
I'll ask
Are you an idiot?
The number of times that Mr. Dulos got out and threw something away from his truck is not equal to the number of cameras that we have here in this courtroom observed. Is that a fair statement?
That would be accurate, yes.
Okay. In other words, we've seen more cameras than actual throwaway stops, right?
Well, we've seen only a few here today. I don't know what else you've seen prior to me coming on the stand, but
Shut
what
up.
we've seen under my testimony, yes.
Fair enough.
Shut up.
Hmm?
I hate this idiot.
You don't
Now,
like
as
to.
far as what we've watched since.
He understands
you've
the
been
question. I understand
The
the question.
garbage
You understand
bags
the
that
question.
you
I understand the
observed
question.
being thrown away were all black garbage bags, correct?
I believe so, yes.
You also described a rolled up item, and we had some debate about what it is, but you saw it was a rolled up black thing, right?
Yes, sir.
And whatever that was, it had some kind of a white mark or white area that one could see as
Yes,
it's
I'm
being
obviously not telling
carried
you
over
that.
to a
at all.
garbage pail that's not on the street, but next to a building, right?
Yes.
Were you able to determine
gets
what
plain
that label or
conventionally
white mark
stupid.
was?
I can only speculate. I have no idea.
Right, well, I'm saying, other than that, you weren't able to use any of your, state police camera equipment or anything to be able to zoom in, or the C4 to zoom in on what that is?
No, sir. My understanding that I think an individual took that mat away prior to it being recovered. So I don't.
Oh, I
think
don't
it
like
was
his
recovered.
voice.
Okay, well, let's back up. I'm talking about from the cameras at the time it's being carried over to the side of a building by Mr. Dulos. Were you able to zoom in or use anything to figure out what that mark, that white spot was?
No, sir.
Now, it said something that I wanted to follow up on it. I'm curious about that. You said that someone took it away. Is that right?
That's my understanding. Yes.
Did you see in any of the C4 cameras that you were watching, anyone pick up that item and cart it away?
No, sir. That was information that was relayed to me by other individuals.
Well, I'm asking about you.
Me personally, no. I didn't see that.
And through all the time you spent, how many hours did you spend at the Capitol Command Center there looking at?
I don't remember specifically. It wasn't terribly long. They had reviewed the
He's
footage
folding
in detail.
like a
what they went
cheap
over with me were
IKEA
the
table.
stops that he made. And we kind of honed in on the last one because we knew the storm drain had not been checked. And so that was kind of my focus, if you will, was that particular
Again,
stop.
the defense is not there to defend the dead. They have clients.
And just so we're also clear, from the video you saw, you could not tell whether that rolled up item was carpeting or plastic or rubber, or any particular material. Is that right?
It could have been anything. It could have been anything. There's no way to actually ever know unless I actually went there and put my hands on it.
And although Mr. McGinnis kept
You
talking
idiot!
about WeatherTech, it could have been any brand of any kind of plastic or rubber mat, right?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, so you have no credibility.
Did anyone ever recover?
Excellent,
that?
excellent cross.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Yeah, it
The
was.
C4 camera continued to look in that same location.
So we don't
right?
know if it was
That's-
actually
was
rubber
fixed at
mat.
That same spot.
I don't know what the
where
fuck I'm
the
talking about.
camera
I don't
observed
either.
the Raptor pull up and something get taken out of the back and put there, right?
The camera did capture that, yes.
And did the
This is
camera
how you
continue to run
dismantle
the next
a
several days?
Bad.
My
correct.
understanding is those cameras run 24/7.
The time that, and when did you, just so I'm clear about the date, when did you go to the location? on
John, his
Albany
demeanor is
Avenue with
changing.
the MDC.
He's dismantling
sewer
his
pump truck?
credibility.
The date,
The date.
Friday,
You
May
could
the
tell by
31st.
his,
Okay, that was the day. And did you go yourself and look through any of the C4 cameras, even fast forward, to see where and when that item, rolled up item went?
No, sir, I was not assigned to do that.
I take it when you were there at that location, you didn't see
So he
it.
doesn't know anything.
No, sir, I did not.
Let me just.
I'm
have a
not
moment.
either.
I mean, this is one of the tactics, particularly when you're dealing with officers. You just prove they don't personally know shit.
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you, Sergeant Buell.
Not
You
my
may speak.
job.
Judge, we will be recalling the sergeant later in the trial.
Oh, good. Get him off the stand.
Excellent. Recall him on the defense case. I would love to see that.
And are there any other state witnesses to be called today?
Not today, Your Honor.
Are they
Ladies
done?
and gentlemen, we have concluded the testimony for today. And for tomorrow, Attorney McGinnis, Attorney Manning, do we have our witnesses lined up?
Your Honor, for tomorrow, yes, I have at least most of the witnesses lined up. There are a few additions that we are trying to schedule. I will let counsel know through email today once we get those concrete. But beyond that, we do have witnesses to be presented.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you are
Oh,
excused
that
for today.
was
Thank you for your
brutal.
patience. We will resume tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and please do not discuss the case or avoid any media about it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, this is, Michigan.
That's right.
That was brutal.
That was almost worth watching again.
I just want to see if there's going to be any sort of motion.
Argument?
If there's not, then all right.
Take it over, John. I was all morning.
Oh Lord,
Floor's
I mean,
yours.
Where do you even begin? The short section that I saw They just want to keep showing videos and and I said this from the beginning, and Nancy, please tell me if I'm wrong. They don't have a case and they want to let the jury formulate one in their own minds. They want the jury to tell themselves their own story. And I'm still of that opinion.
Yes. I would
Okay.
say you're correct. And I would tell you why you're correct. I gotta get that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I had to have those on because I can't hear the courtroom. Okay. So, like I said way in the beginning of this trial, that you cannot put somebody in prison for formulating your own opinion in your head. That's just ridiculous.
I agree.
I mean, that's just ludicrous. Okay. And having the state put these videos, because they really don't have more than one video of them going on to their little trash tour.
It proves nothing.
It doesn't. But it did put her with him. But now that I'm talking to you,
Going out, throwing out trash.
well, you got to hear me out here. We did kind of piece it together that it was putting her there, but can you really say it was Michelle and
Let
Fotis?
me put it this way. From a defense mindset.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Let me say, hey, Nancy, do you mind? I've got a ton of trash. You got a bigger car than I do. Do you mind driving up to Tampa? Or driving out to Tampa? Let's presume that you're a mile away as opposed to states and states.
Right.
Do you mind helping me out while I throw out some crap? And maybe I'm guilty of dumping in commercial bins because I have too much
Let's go.
to deal with my apartment complexes, maximum requirements.
Yeah.
Do you mind driving? Do you mind driving with me around so that we can throw some trash out?
No, but I think we should go to
That's
30.
not a crime. And by the way, if hypothetically,
No, you're asking me this, and I'm going to say something.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, John, I think let's go, but I think you should go to 30 trash cans to do this.
Yeah, fine. But you know what? Maybe they're friends of his, whoever. Who cares?
Yeah, and let's just say I'm dating.
And then, by the way, circumstantially, my ex-fiance disappears. And who knows? Maybe she flies back to Puerto Rico and decides to practice medicine there. I mean, is that not something that could happen?
It could happen, but I mean, it's just like somebody saying, Nancy.
You're trying to create a pattern where fully exists.
Can you use your husband's truck and let's just put all the trash in your car? And do you mind if we go to? Okay, we live in a small town, but Iowa has a lot of towns.
Yeah, I don't want to get a dumpster. I mean,
I don't want to get a dumpster, but I would just love to go to different towns and just spread them out a bit.
I mean, technically that's illegal, but it's not murder.
Or you're dating somebody. He says, honey, let's go trash. I'm sorry. No. This is not normal behavior, what they did. No, not normal.
What they did, honestly, I don't think is abnormal.
I don't think it's an everyday thing.
I don't think it is an everyday thing. I
I
think
don't.
that
I mean, in my lifetime, okay, I'm what, 63 years old. I know it's hard to believe, everybody. But no, I'm just kidding. In my lifetime, I don't think I ever had anybody say, let Nancy, do you want to help me get rid of some trash? Now, I have dumpster dive in college.
okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
serious.
but here, let me give you a converse point. When I was working in construction, which he was, we had a lot of trash, and if you don't want to pay for a dumpster, maybe you kind of spread it out a little bit as opposed to hiring a dumpster.
John,
and you know what? Maybe the person has a girlfriend that happens to come along for the ride. That's not a ridiculous concept to me.
It is to me.
That really is not a ridiculous concept.
Ridiculous.
I'm telling you, it happens in terms of distributing trash.
How many times have you? Oh, well, okay. All right, I'm 31.
Distributing trash, that's not uncommon.
I'm like 32 years older than you are. I have never in my life encountered such weirdness as that. Like I said, the only thing I could say it's, everybody likes to dumpster dive once in a while, but I don't know. Not everybody.
Nancy, I have been a contractor's apprentice.
Oh, I'm sure you have been a contractor. I mean, I'm sure you have. But
we divide the trash amongst the different places because they have a maximum capacity. They have a maximum allowable before you get.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
not crazy. I mean, hell,
you're a contractor.
My uncle's a contractor, and
does he go to?
He has brought trash to our house to take it out.
Does he have like 30 bags in his back? And I understand somebody's messy. If you were a big hoarder, okay, a huge hoarder, yeah, I could see 30 trash cans.
No, but
in a normal family situation, we may not even have 30 trash bags in 1 month.
Again, my point at the end of the day is one in any of that is illegal.
Is it illegal?
It can be, depending upon the circumstance, the distribution of trash. But how does that prove that you murdered somebody?
Well,
because it is a relatively well accepted,
John.
Existing
John.
in the industry.
Okay, John. It doesn't prove that you murder somebody, but it certainly proves you're trying to hide something.
Why?
Because somebody mentioned if they were going
to hire a dumpster.
Okay. Somebody mentioned in my chat room said they in our chat room, somebody mentioned that this is, this morning or before you came on. And they said, if I had all this trash, I want to go to 30 or 2 or 4 to get rid of this trash. I would actually go to a dumpster and dump it.
Again, maybe you're just fucking cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Well, yeah, but here. All right. It wouldn't seem normal.
Again, you're talking about a real estate developer.
You're trying to make it normal. I don't see it normal. Sorry.
I'm telling you that in a certain realm, it is kind of normal. Where if you are a small to medium-sized contractor and you've got a lot of waste from the work that you're doing, I don't consider that abnormal. The idea that, if you are a
No.
small contractor calling up friends and saying like, "Hey, when is your garbage date? Do you mind if I drop off some shit at your place?" And you call up a few friends, because remember, this is the point that the defense made literally just now, just at the end, was even though we have 7 to 8 videos, the amount of actual residences or businesses that they dumped at was like 3. That doesn't seem ludicrous to me. You're just trying to get rid of fucking waste from, excuse my language. You're trying to get rid of waste from your construction work? Yeah. Calling up 3 friends that happen to have businesses or, homes that you can toss a couple bags in.
I'll tell you one thing. If my husband ever said, okay, we have like 4 or 5 trash bags, just say that, one smaller, but we're going to go to 2 or 3 to get rid of them, I'd be like, I question him. Why?
Okay.
Are you hiding something?
I'm not saying that it doesn't raise a question. I'm
Are
just
you
saying
hiding
that
something? Are you hiding something, my dear?
I'm just saying that it's not absolutely ludicrous.
The defense is just throwing something against the wall, hope it sticks. Because, I mean, seriously. Oh, it's not unusual. Yes, it is.
It really isn't, though.
See, this is why I like you and I, because we can really.
And again, you can't say, Moonfox, good point.
Oh, so you think
You
it's
can't say that it wasn't construction materials because we don't know what it was.
They
We
haven't
haven't the slightest
proven.
idea.
Seriously, you think it's normal even if he went to 30? He had 30 bags.
Yeah, that's actually not
Look at
that
30 of them.
abnormal.
You think that's normal?
Yes. And maybe this is like a Northeast thing, but we have strictures on how many bags per week you're allowed to use the municipal garbage service for.
Oh, I used to be a customer service for a garbage.
Okay. So
I know
mean, look,
that.
if I could distribute it out amongst
All right, so I
30
see a
friends,
little bit where you're coming from.
where I say, look, could I throw one more bag of trash out with you guys? Do you mind? And they're like, okay, because it's a weekly quota, basically. Can I throw one more bag of trash out with you guys? And they're like, yeah, we probably only have 2. No big deal. And you get 30 of those. I mean, it's a strange concept to a lot of folks, but that's how the Northeast works. I don't think it's that ludicrous. Because they have 30 bags over the course of 7 sites? Where it's like, hey, can I drop off an extra couple trash bags at your business? I know you're contracted to 7 and you only usually do 3. Can I throw 4 with you? Can I throw an extra bag with you? Can I throw a bag with you? I mean, if you don't want to pay the $1,500 for a friggin' dumpster, that's not a stupid concept if you're a contractor.
He's not a contract. Well, yeah, he is. Is he?
Yeah. Real estate developer, but
he wasn't doing the contracting. He wasn't doing the actual physical work.
Yeah, but who knows what he actually contracted for? Maybe he was responsible for the waste.
He's trying to.
Nobody said otherwise.
He's trying to destroy evidence.
Prove it. I haven't seen any proof.
Well, there's one video that I saw with the blood coming out of there with a. I know we already had that discussion. I don't want to bring it up again because I don't want to.
Okay.
I mean that's enough.
I'm not saying that it doesn't seem fishy, Moonfox. I appreciate it. That's absolutely fair. But at the
seems
same
your point, but it
time,
seems fishy. Absolutely fishy.
but where do you get beyond a reasonable doubt?
The mannerisms of the
Right,
video.
but are we right now prosecuting Dulos, not the actual defendant?
Not really. We're just seeing her, and there we see a female. We know it's a female. Come on, she's tiny. There's no there. Yeah, the guy's not stretched like that unless he's no.
Oh, I don't want to make inappropriate comments, but
I'm
there
sorry, was
are
that
men
inappropriate?
that do.
Was that inappropriate? I'm sorry.
There are men. No, not at all. But there are men with builds. Who cares? And if it's
Well, I know it is. Who cares? But yeah, there are men that are.
but Nancy,
I wish I was. Yeah, I was.
even if it is a female, how can you prove that it's that female? My client.
If you would zoom in and look at her structured and
Yeah,
look
it
at
doesn't
her
work that way.
face, you know,
Nothing works that way.
and I don't know.
There's no such thing as zoom and enhance. Come on. You've done borderline enough video work that you understand there's no such thing as zoom and enhance.
I know. I should know better than that.
So where does any of that tie us to our client? It's all innuendo.
Because when you really do look at that photo, I gotta admit, you can't really identify her.
No.
You can identify you can allegedly identify, or how's that? That she could be the person is a girl, allegedly a girl.
Could be.
Okay.
Could be, it's not what we
Are we arguing whether or not he
don't
is?
send people to jail for could be.
Yeah, well,
We don't send people to jail for could be.
absolutely not. I totally agree with you. And we don't send people to jail for a little story we have in our heads either.
And that's what I think that the prosecution is doing. They are prosecuting Dulos, even though that's not actually the defendant. And I think that's wrong.
She said she was wiping gum off her fingers.
I don't know what that is about.
Moonfox is just okay.
Maybe that's something that I missed, but I didn't hear anything.
Well, there's probably things out there that you hear.
And by the way, wiping gum off our fingers, what difference is that? Like, what is the significance of that? I don't understand it.
Well, if you wipe gum off your fingers, I don't think you have to lean out of your vehicle to do it. Oh, God, I don't know. I know what you're saying. I totally get it. You can't put somebody.
They're prosecuting Dulos, even though that's not the actual defendant.
I truly.
And I think that they have an excellent case against Dulos. But he's dead.
Oh, it was online somewhere. Well,
I'll take that as a given.
Okay, I totally understand where you're coming from. Okay, I do. And it goes back to our conversations about the video. All right, I do. I mean, I cannot prove it's her. No. And I can't really prove it's him. Why were they arrested? Why was she arrested in the first place then?
Because we have a missing woman. We have a guy that decided to self-delete, and it got into the media. became an entire carousel of stupid.
So you're
We-
going to arrest a woman out of the media?
I'm sorry?
So she's got arrested just because it wasn't blown out of proportion. It was a media circus.
Yes, it's happened before, it's happened again.
Oh, it has happened. Yes. I mean, even as in journalism, we have study cases that
Somebody needs to be held accountable.
exactly. So we pick her. What about the nanny?
But the
I
answer-
really would love to do a little bit of
Well,
the
that's the thing. It's like, why is it not her? Why is it her and not the nanny? Why is it?
Oh, you got my text, right?
Why is
How-
it anyone? The honest to God answer is somebody was murdered here. And the person who's ultimately responsible off themselves. Justice, there's no justice here, I guess, is kind of the journalistic tagline. Somebody has to be held responsible. But the reality is that the responsible person took the responsibility of offing themselves so that the state doesn't have to. And sometimes that is justice. I mean, what do you do? Who do you... I mean, let's say that it is let's say it's a couple that homicide, suicide, and there's nothing else to cover. What do you think journalists do? They're trying to be like, oh, was there a mistress? Is there somebody else that we could possibly drag into this? That's the first thing journalists do. Sometimes it's just that you have a deranged human being that slaughters another human being and then decides to off themselves. Sometimes that's the end of the story, but it doesn't catch headlines. It's not going to make major news. It's not going to create multiple headlines over the course of years. And journalism, I think, is part of the reason why this case actually exists. And I'm not trying to be nasty toward you, but I think
No. I'm
that is one of the sins of your profession.
yeah, right. I why do you think I didn't go into the
You have to find some salacious
why
angle.
do you think I want to be on YouTube? Because I want to be the type of journalist that reports the facts.
Absolutely, and I respect.
I want people to see this, because to me, you do not throw somebody in jail just because a journalist wants a story. And you know what? Sad to say,
that's what we're dealing with right now.
Sad to say, that's our society these days.
That's what we're dealing with right now in this case.
I mean, why?
And I can think of half a dozen other cases.
Well, why do you think I go on YouTube? Why do you think I go here every day? Is because I want to report this sensationalism. Yeah, okay, here. Can I say something?
I can't stop you. It's your channel.
All right. Here is, okay. I remember in college, the professor came to this is in journalism school, okay? He comes to the chalkboard and writes out sensationalism does sell.
Yeah. What do you think?
Where are the honest reporters out there that says, let's not get involved in that? Let's find out who really did this. And let's find out if Michelle Troconis is really guilty. Now, we have all these journalists out there, I'm not going to name any names because I don't think it's right, who are so quick to judge. Now, do I like to listen to them? Yeah, they give me a different out, But my whole entire reason why I do this is because I get to use my journalism skills. Now, if I have 5 people listening to me, okay. Do I want to become?
I'm
Do
here
I?
with you.
Huh?
I'm here with you.
Do I
I'm
want?
here.
Do I want more people to pop in and to really see how accurate I want reporting to be? Absolutely. Do I want to grow to be big? I don't know. If it happens, it happens. Do people not everybody's gonna like what I do on here. Not everybody's gonna like my work. I can understand that. But I wish and I hope that people would know that I'm not on here to blow smoke and to show quickness of judgment and so narrow-minded that I can't see other avenues of thinking things. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And if I can,
And I want to be able to hear what you say with a clear mind, an open mind, not just one way. Because
well, if I can say from my perspective,
the end of the day, you cannot throw somebody in prison just because you have a little story told by a prosecution of the state.
well, guess
There.
what? We do that all the time.
And we do that all the time. We have journalists out there that do that all the time, except for this one. And my little channel and this big fish tank saying, wait a minute, this is wrong.
Well,
Okay, John, your turn.
I'm trying to think of an example. The best one I can think would be Rittenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
The media crucified him before the trial.
So,
And it was only the trial that vindicated him.
So we're doing this to Michelle.
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I think that we have the culprit.
Susan Powell.
So why are we adding another person? Why are we trying to crucify somebody who is tangentially related to what we know? Not know, but are 99% sure is the actual culprit, but because he's dead, we still need to get a scalp because it makes the story. I mean, look, I think that Rittenhouse was the absolute downfall of journalism.
Oh, I think
in terms of at least the legal field.
Journalism just turned into one sensational headline after another.
It turned into clickbait.
Me, and particularly is why I never went into journalism in a professional setting is because of that reason. And the reason why I'm here today is because, like I told my husband, I get to use my journalism skills, and yet I like to see the truth.
Yeah. Well,
and do I think you keep us grounded? Yeah. But I also like to think I keep myself grounded because I fact check everything I see.
Well, and that's why I think that it's a shame that there aren't more people like you in the profession.
There is?
I think it's a shame why there aren't.
Because they don't have the guts.
The economic incentive is just create clickbait headlines.
Well, the thing is, if I was a reporter
and honestly, can I go one step further? And
go for it.
In a lot of trouble with a lot of my friends. I think virtually everyone in the legal educational sphere has sold out.
Really?
I can't think of a single person who, when this was starting, probably 3 or 4 years ago, the idea of, I mean, not to name names, I'm not going to, but when this entire project started, that's why I wanted to get involved in it, was because we were actually bringing legal education as opposed to lawyer reacts. Because I could do that. That's cheap. That's easy. That doesn't actually take any sort of freaking research. Who cares? How many lawyers on YouTube sit there and recite precisely what Miranda is? And they sit there and watch a cop video.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's because you're like, you're different than that. That's what makes you special, John. Is because when you talk about something, you put it in a real life, and then what you're going to do is you're going to learn from that.
yeah, but that's the thing, is that's not what the algorithm wants. And the almighty algorithm, thank you, God of YouTube, that's not what it wants. What it wants is, honestly, if I did a show every week of some cop interaction and reinstated, hey, it's really stupid to talk to the cops, don't do that. But if I did it in a zany, fun way, with a, with a thumbnail that had my mouth open, looking like I was absolutely shocked by this, even though I'm not, then, I would probably be very successful. And everyone else, I don't know, maybe it's like the 90s when you talk about like bands selling out. But I think they all basically sold out to the algorithm.
I'm cheap in some ways too.
And I am like I walked away because I didn't want to be the last one standing. I still
I think it'd be fun.
My Halloween special, not this past year, but the year before, was about a New York State Supreme Court.
Why are we lucky?
Declaring a house haunted. Like, I like that fun stuff. I like that, but it's so much easier to do it otherwise.
I think people will appreciate true journalism and true lawyering, because here we are, John. I want to be a journalist, not selling myself out just for sensationalism. Okay. And I think people catch on to that with my channel.
Absolutely.
I'm not here to have a popularity contest, but I'm here because I want everybody to know how our court system works.
Yes,
and I'm reporting.
I support you, and I don't get
support you
for any of the time that I spend here with you. Because I think that there's a certain echelon of quote unquote YouTube lawyers that no longer serve the original purpose. They're not really teaching law anymore.
Well, it's just like this one guy, he goes on and puts on this one video, try to catch up on the case we're following. And then he falls asleep and starts snoring. Nobody hears it.
I don't know who that is. And
I'm not going to say any names.
Yeah. But that's one of the reasons why I'm
I shouldn't have said that, probably.
Because I want to actually teach law.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Moonfox. and I
Well,
appreciate it.
see, and
But
that's
no,
why
seriously.
I like to have you. That's why I think you and I make a good team, because I like to hear. Okay, call me a trial reporter, right? That's what I do. You know,
Sure.
and then I like you on this end because you could tell the expertise. You're an expert on the law, and I'm an expert on showing people live coverage of real news.
Well,
Oh,
I think I have to
right.
start doing my half of it and go back to actually presenting real law.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate reality is
This
that
is
takes
real
a
law.
whole, it takes a whole of a lot more work to do what we do than the echelons do. This is probably not a conversation for everybody's consumption, so maybe we should close the stream.
Yeah. I might get in trouble. Do you think I will?
No, I very much doubt it.
Okay, but I'm all right. So anyway, everybody that we always do, it's always a tradition. John's last smoke. John, light up that cigarette. Let's have a last smoke of questions. You're going to ask John questions, and they're going to be in good taste. It doesn't have to be about this trial. Something fun and whimsical.
Like Nancy said, the same rules apply. I am going to light the smoke. When it's done, it's done. In the meantime, anyone who is here in the chat can ask any question they like as long as it's in good taste and my ability to answer.
I took away your thunder. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good night, Moonfox.
You know, you're actually encouraged to ask questions.
All right, I'm going to ask. Okay, John, how do you pronounce your last name?
O'Brien.
Okay. John, what is your favorite meal? I'll get people started.
Steak and potatoes.
Mm.
Maybe a broccoli side.
John, do you like Italian food?
I do. Eggplant parm is fantastic. A really, really well done meatball marinara roll.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be with garlic bread. And actually, speaking of garlic bread, you do. So it's not really Italian, but it's this basic steak and cheese where you toast the bread with some garlic salt. And the way that I do garlic bread is I basically get an Italian roll, slice it in half, butter, garlic salt, and just put it in the oven. Comes out absolutely fantastic. And then you add some sliced steak and add cheese on top of it. And if you have some leftover gravy, that's just absolutely gorgeous.
Mm.
I don't know. What questions do we got? Come on, guys. You only got half a smoke left.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously, Walmart Mommy, if you take Italian bread, literally just line it with butter. You don't even have to melt it or anything. Spread it, whatever you want to do. Garlic salt, wrap it up in tinfoil, throw it in the oven 350 for like 15 minutes, and it's absolutely delicious.
All right, now I'm getting hungry. I can't believe I asked you that question.
Now I'm getting hungry.
John, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Oh, me too. Blue and pink is mine. What's your favorite number?
7.
What kind of law do you practice?
I
What do you prefer?
Depends where I was over the course of my years. I started in a kind of a mix of medical malpractice and construction injury, and then went to first person property.
Mm.
Come on, keep going. Because nobody else apparently.
John, do you need a lot of sleep to function?
No, I am a chronic insomniac. I work on about 4 hours of sleep a night, and that's just the way that it's been since I was like 4 years old.
Do you think a lawyer should be that way?
I think a lawyer kind of has to be that way.
What happens if a lawyer isn't?
They could be a perfectly fine lawyer. That doesn't necessarily answer the question. I think at the end of the day, if you're not intellectually curious, like part of the reason why I can't sleep is because I'm constantly like thinking about other stuff.
That's true though, because you're constantly thinking. So yeah, I could see how you could turn into a night owl.
What is the airspeed of a coconut-laden swallow? That would be 33 miles an hour.
How do you know that?
Monty Python.
Oh, okay. You're poor parents.
Well, I'll tell you one story, and then we'll call it a night. Because I'm getting to the end of the cigarette. I was maybe 4 years old, and I decided to get out of bed at 2 a.m, went into the kitchen, climbed up on top of the counter, got a bag of Domino sugar, like one of those 1 pound bags, brought it down, was tasting it, and I was like, all right, this is a little much. Got a cup of water, and it ended up creating a tile in our living room. Because sugar and water together ended up solidifying.
Oh.
So that's one of the stories from my childhood. All right, that's the end of the cigarette.
Okay, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the YouTube things. And thank you so much for coming on today and hanging out with John and I, because it's always a pleasure to give you true news. And it's always a pleasure of John giving you true law.
I don't think I could say it any better. Thank you all for joining us. I
I didn't
appreciate
mean to interrupt. Okay. All right, everybody. Good night and out.